What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of
FORNEVERNEWS!
the only news source that provides anything and everything anime and manga related. And we don't bore you. We get into it. Let's do it.
No matter how you know, get it done. No matter how you know, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode. As always, if you're not subscribed, highly encourage it. In fact, 65% of people watching right now aren't subscribed, so you could definitely do wonders by hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell to get all notifications. In fact, if you do hit that subscribe button and that bell to get all notifications, I can guarantee that Pete Davidson will not be taking your gal, okay? And yes, people, that is my attempts at mainstream humor. Yeah, let's carry on, shall we? We got a whole episode of stories, big stories. I'm ready. Let's do it. And first story on the docket. This was announced, I believe, either Friday or over this weekend. But either way, it was a massive announcement because, again, there's just so many very big stories a part of this episode. I guess let's start off with this one because we just recently spoke on a couple different occasions now that there was some insight, little leaks here or there, a president from a company here or there talking about it. But now we actually have 100% confirmation on what's going down with the future of the Jujutsu Kaisen anime, in particular with season 2. Y'all know we had season 1, it rocked the freaking world. Then we got that Jujutsu Kaisen 0 film that is doing gangbusters over there in Japan right now. I'm anxiously waiting for it. We got one more month to go, but I'm gonna be here when it shows up. And now we actually have confirmation regarding Jujutsu Kaisen, where they're going forward in terms of the next season, season 2. Let's read. It says here, Jujutsu Kaisen anime gets second season in, this might crush a lot of people, 2023. According to this, it says here, the cast of Geki Joban Jujutsu Kaisen 0 anime film and Jujutsu Kaisen's TV anime announced after a Saturday afternoon screening that the TV series will get a second season in 2023. The film's website had teased last month that the screening on Saturday would have an important announcement. Manga creator Gege Akutami drew an illustration to commemorate the success of the film and the announcement of the second season. The illustration features a comment from Akutami to thank readers, viewers, and all involved in the production. And it's a picture of, which is kind of funny, I guess, is also to, thank everybody for the film and whatnot, because it's actually Yuta and something to do with Yuta. I'm trying not to jump into spoilers for people that haven't seen the film yet or read the manga of that or whatnot. But yeah, you would think it would have been like maybe all of the characters, or maybe like Yuta and Yuji standing side by side to thank the movie and the TV anime. But Junya Enoki, the voice actor for the show's protagonist, Yuji Itadori, appeared at the event to announce the new season. Wait a minute, wasn't he actually announced to have had COVID, or there was something there? Maybe it was already announced that he came back with a negative testing after the fact. Maybe that's what it is, because why else would he be there? The staff at the event rolled a box onto the stage, and Enoki popped out of the box wearing a sash that congratulated the movie on its hit run. When Enoki turned around, the sash's back announced the second season. That is a cool way to announce a second season, I'm not gonna lie. A screen above the cast then added that the season will premiere in 2023. Part of the surprise in Enoki's appearance is that he had tested positive for COVID on January 31st, so it was like a big deal. Like, oh, okay, that makes a little more sense. And like we have reported, it says MBS TV channel's president basically came out and spoke a little bit about it. So essentially, they were just waiting for the film to have a decent run. It's probably starting to get removed from Japanese theaters over there because it's been there since what, the 24th of December. So it's been well over a month. So now they're probably winding down. They're like, okay, let's announce the TV anime, which thank goodness, because yeah, it's good to have a date. I guess in terms of everything that Mappa has going on right now, 2023 sounds more reasonable. If it was just that like Mappa only did Jujutsu Kaisen or something, then I would be like, oh, come on, really? All the way 2023? But the fact of the matter is they got way too many titles. Hell's Paradise, Chainsaw Man, they're finishing Attack on Titan. There's rumors of an Attack on Titan movie potentially in development. There's rumors of them grabbing other titles. Like, there's so much on Mappa's plate right now that 2023 seems like the only logical place to put this. And it might not even be early be 2023 at that. Maybe it might be summer or something, because again, there's just a lot on Mappa's plate. So I ain't really mad at it. I think we got a lot of big heavy hitters, not to mention other studios like the Return of Bleach and stuff. So I think 2022 for the most part is covered with really awesome stuff. It's a shame for hardcore Jujutsu Kaisen fans, don't get me wrong, like, dogs, yo, we got something special incoming with this next season, but it's understandable. Like, dog, Mappa has just way too much on their plate to be throwing out another season of Jujutsu Kaisen, especially while there's still a film in theaters right now and still has to make a run worldwide. So let 2022, let Jujutsu Kaisen Zero kind of, you know, wrap things up, get everybody globally, and then boom, 2023 back at it with another season. And shout outs again to Gege Akutami, because yeah, you deserve it, fam. You've been doing amazing work. And yes, people, once again, Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 2023, let's go. Next up, people, in light of talking about continuations, this is another major one that a lot of people are going to be talking about. A lot of people are going to be hype over this one. If you wasn't hype about the story we just talked about regarding Jujutsu Kaisen's next season, then you're going to probably be hype about this, because every Sunday for the last, I don't know how many weeks now, last couple months at the very least, has just been a bonanza. People being really excited about the high quality that has been released by a couple different anime, such as Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer. But the big question, because there was even some murmurings about like some Demon Slayer news that was supposed to be popping up, and a lot of people were speculating, okay, what they're gonna do next. A lot of people were like, well, Mugen Train was a big smash hit. The next logical step is maybe another film, right? One season, a movie, a season, a movie, or something like that. But actually, they did not announce that. In fact, they announced the exact opposite, because we got a big announcement with the finale of Demon Slayer season 2. What's next? And it's not a film, it's actually the next season of the anime. Although they're not titling it like Demon Slayer season 2, they're giving it like arc names, which in business it makes more sense. The more you can make something appeal episodic, like anybody could jump in, the better. So if you put a season 1, season 2, season 3, it kind of stops a lot of people from jumping in, because they're like, oh, I gotta go, there's like 20 seasons or some shit like that. So the way they're marketing it is a very smart idea in my opinion. But let's read the press release so we can see exactly what we're about to get into with the future of the Demon Slayer TV anime. It says here, Demon Slayer manga's Swordsmith Village arc gets TV anime. The Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Entertainment District arc anime ended on Sunday with an announcement that Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba manga's Swordsmith Village arc, aka Katana Kaiji no Satohen, will also have a TV anime. Director Haruo Sotozaki, character designer and chief animation director Akira Matsushima, the animation studio Ufotable, and the main cast are all returning. And we got two really epic freaking awesome visuals for two of the Hashira there. It just looks freaking amazing. I can't freaking wait, I'm not gonna lie, because we already had, which it seems to be ever since the introduction of the Hashira, marketing for the series has moved onward from just being like about demons and, you know, looking at Tanjiro and the crew, and more so it looks like with every season now they're gonna market it as, yo, check out the next on the Hashira list. We had Rengoku smash hit with the Mugen Train. He marketed the crap out of that with his imagery. Boom, the Entertainment District arc, we had Tengen Uzui, and now we got two more. It says, and it just says here about the TV anime debuting in April 2019, so give a little bit more insight. But essentially, in a nutshell, Demon Slayer's Swordsmith Village edition has been decided to be made into a TV anime, and the teaser again is of two of these Hashira, and it doesn't say a date either, which I'm hoping, if they're announcing it now and they're going to be going down this direction, right? Because technically there was only, what, 11 episodes of the Entertainment District arc, technically, even though like a couple of them were extended or whatnot. Like, it was a short run, so maybe they might just go that route, like every year 12 episodes, and if that's the case, or 11, whatever, I guess I'll be fine with that. Like, eventually we'll get through it, right? And if they're dropping it at the quality that they've been doing, that makes people back off a little bit. Like, that's one of the things that I noticed. It wasn't that big of a deal to people this season of Demon Slayer, opposed to many years ago. I remember Attack on Titan season 2, people were very angry that it was only 12 episodes when season 1 was 25 episodes. I didn't see that commotion here with Demon Slayer, especially considering we got a readaptation for the Mugen Train stuff or whatnot. So I think that because of the high quality, people are like, but it's so freaking high quality, who cares? Yeah, give me 12 of that every year. I got a million other anime to watch in the meantime. That's not a bad way to look at it, to be honest with you. But yeah, people, Demon Slayer, the next arc already announced, Swordsmith Village, TV anime continuing. It doesn't seem like we got a movie in the works as of right now, but that's not to say that they're not going to announce one in the future, because again, it made too much damn money. But yeah, we're going to see more Hashira, Swordsmith Village arc. let's go, baby. Season 2 was better than season 1. Insane. Moving forward, it's just Mappa, Mappa, Mappa everywhere you turn. You can't freaking escape it because we got a little bit more insight now into Chainsaw Man, which I want to say was kind of already confirmed, but for the most part, we got extra confirmation. It says here, Chainsaw Man anime release date was officially released by Mappa at the Jujutsu Kaisen 0 event. So at that actual event, Mappa was like, well, we might as well tell them something else about some other titles we got. The anime is scheduled to begin broadcasting in October 2022, which for the most part, I feel like that's where we all thought it was going to be. I believe it was even mentioned fall, but they gave confirmation now. So now we know again that this is going to be a packed year, and it's going to be, I ain't gonna lie, very an anxious wait, so to speak, because Chainsaw Man right now, it has such a high buzz. If that anime goes way too CGI and people don't like it, it's going to be bad. Like, that's the biggest concern that I'm having right now, and worry of, are they going to be able to mesh it well with the CG of the chainsaws and all that stuff? How is it going to work? How is it going to look? Is it going to be fluid? Is it going to be palatable for people? Like, where are they going to go with this? So that's one of the things that I'm a little bit skeptical about, but either way, now we got 100% confirmation. October 2022, Chainsaw Man, Mappa. They're making so many major moves. There's just so much right now. It's so weird that we used to talk about a lot of different studios back in the day. We used to say A1 Pictures, oh my god, Studio Bones, Studio Madhouse, yo, Toei and Piro, they're doing their thing over there. Now we talk about Mappa. Oh, and Ufotable did something incredible. We'll check them next time. More Mappa, more Mappa. More Mappa. It's crazy, but the evolution of the anime industry is that Mappa's taking over, and Chainsaw Man's going to be big, and I can't wait. They actually just sent out my Nendroids that I pre-ordered like a freaking year ago. Oh my god. I know that's irrelevant, or, well, it's technically relevant. It's Chainsaw Man. Either way, Chainsaw Man, October 2022. Y'all know the deal. We must stand Chainsaw Man. Okay, people, next up, gamers that are fans of this anime that has a game coming out. We've spoke about it a couple different times now. An Eden Zero game was coming. Well, it says here, Eden Zero Pocket Galaxy, February 24th delivery decision. So it seems as though this is going to be coming February 24th. And pre-registration has finally started on the App Store and Google Play, which I think that's only for Japan technically. And there was a launch trailer for the game as well. Go to space with just one smartphone. The beginning of a new adventure at Eden Zero. Is that what that says? It says, no, Yaura. I don't freaking know what that means. But either way, yeah, the Eden Zero, there's a new trailer for the video game coming out, which now that we got the announcement about the anime, it seems as though Eden Zero is still going strong. The only thing that really Eden Zero is lacking on, in my opinion, is the manga sales aren't going astronomical, which I think the second season might be able to remedy, like, because I've heard nothing but great things, so maybe that'll be the kickoff part, because everywhere else, the anime is very popular. A lot of people are talking about it. It got a freaking game coming out for it. It's created by one of the most notable names in manga, Hiromashima. The only thing is that the manga isn't going, like, doing 100k or 200k first week or stuff like that. That gets to that point, then Eden Zero is a certified smash, but as it stands right now, the only thing that is lacking is the manga, but we got a new game coming out for it. I still haven't really gotten into the Fairy Tail one that I bought a million years ago that I actually voted on back in the day as well. So I really got to get in and catch up on my gaming. I'm so far behind on all of it. But yeah, new Eden Zero game. Trailer looks alright. I can't freaking wait to play it. And I want to say I think Hiromashima is like developing it too. So that man's hustle, man. That man's hustle. Something disgusting like, but I love it. Eden Zero game, February 24th. Pre-register now. Again, it's on the Japanese thing, so I don't know what the global release is going to be like, if there's one planned. Next up, this was something that kind of has me wondering, right? Because we just spoke about, in this episode alone, 2 different franchises that upon, actually 3 now that I think about it, upon their finishing, you know, their run, whether it be their season or their finale, whatever it may be, having big announcements. We got a freaking another season of one anime, another season of another anime, a video game of another anime, all with them wrapping up. So I think that this is going to be very important and very vital for whatever is going to happen at the end of Attack on Titan's anime run, because according to this, which this has been in the works for a little bit, there will be an Attack on Titan final season part 2 panel at Anime Japan 2022 on March 27th. So right there, they could be using that opportunity to, okay, boom, we're gonna announce we got a spin-off coming, we're gonna announce we got another game coming, we're gonna announce we got a film, an anime original film, or it's going to be the film to finish things off. So there could be a lot of things coming, but again, considering that's how they've been leading things a lot lately, like, okay, boom, Attack on Titan finished, we're gonna give you an announcement. That probably could be the big thing, and I'm gonna be very, very interested, and I'm gonna keep my ear to the pulse of what's going on in the Attack on Titan fandom right now, because one of the big things is that it feels like it's, you know, supposed to be over, right? Especially like if you're watching the anime right now, you're not thinking that, wait, there might be a spin-off, it might continue on. You just want to see it end. However, based on, without any spoilers, don't worry, all I'm going to say is that the way the manga ended, there is a possibility somehow, some way that maybe potentially they could do something with the story moving forward. That's all I'm going to say. It could be that there's one flower left, you know, after everything is all said and done, and that flower or some shit. You just never know. So there is definitely that possibility, and I'm just curious to see what they're going to do, because if they try to go the Boruto route, fans is going to wild out. Like, yeah, so this big announcement, again, it could be nothing. It could be that they're just doing a big event. They're going to sell merch. They're going to sell, you know, colored versions of the manga. All sorts of stuff could be the case with that. Or it could be that they're announcing more, which I don't see them not announcing more, because Kodansha, Attack on Titan is one of their flagships. Like now, Kodansha, they pretty much got Attack on Titan, they got Tokyo Revengers that's doing disgusting numbers, and they got a few other titles, but they're nowhere near like with Shueisha. Shueisha has such a large repertoire of series that one ends, it's no sweat off their back. If Black Clover or if My Hero, both of them ended right now, it's really no sweat off their back, because all they got to do is release a Demon Slayer coloring book, and it's going to outsell what those two manga would have did volume-wise. Like, I'm just being 100% honest. So they're at a position where series are expendable for the most part over there in Shueisha. Kodansha's not there. Kodansha, it still needs that Tokyo Revengers stretch. It still needs those Attack on Titan volumes. They don't have the type of repertoire and the type of popularity and mainstream success that a Shueisha title off the bat has. One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, Dragon Ball Z, Hitman Reborn. Like, you just name it and they got it. So again, I'll keep a lookout to see what's coming for this Attack on Titan final panel. It could be absolutely nothing, or it could be the beginnings to a colossal reemergence for the series, and yeah, I'm waiting to see. Either way, Attack on Titan final panel that they're doing at Anime Japan, March 27th. Only time will tell. Okay, people, and last story of the episode is an update regarding an anime that Netflix recently announced that it was doing this one, which kind of still shocks me because I'm still stuck off of how much I really enjoyed that 6-episode OVA. The old series Bastard. We talked about it on FORNEVERNEWS a couple different times now, that there's a new Bastard anime that is incoming from Netflix. Well, we got a little bit more updates over on it. It says here, Bastard, heavy metal dark fantasy, which don't worry, it's not like about, in case you're like, oh, I don't want to hear a heavy metal, you know, like, what is he, a heavy metal singer? That's just like the vibe of it. Anime will have a total of 24 episodes divided into 2 cores. This is good. So basically what's going to happen more than likely is we're going to have 12 episodes, and then boom, it's going to go on break for like 3 to 6 months, and then 12 more. Although I don't know if there's going to be like a TV airing thing, and they're doing the same thing like what they're doing with JoJo's and what they did with Eden Zero. So we got to wait and see. But either way, 24 episodes divided into 2 cores. That also gives them time to make 12 really awesome looking episodes, break and work on those other 12 and make them really good looking, so to speak. So we'll see, but I think Netflix has their hands filled, because Bastard is never really, like, you know, it's not the most popular title, especially outside of Japan. Like, I couldn't right now call up and hit up 3 Bastard fans, let alone, you know, something that is like, oh, you got Bastard. So I think they could do a lot of different things as long as they don't stray too far away from the source material, but making a really good adaptation of Bastard and throw it on Netflix, it could take off. But it's not really one of those things that's riding on like the nostalgia resurgence, because there's not that many Bastard fans out there. I'm one of the very few that I know that I'm like, yo, I love Bastard. I can rewatch Dark Snyder and those OVAs 100 million times. But yeah, 24 episodes divided into 2 cores. Can't freaking wait. I'm excited. I ain't gonna lie, man. Bastard. Hopefully they do it justice, though. Hopefully they don't play around, because Bastard is the few fans that does rock with Bastard. We're hardcore, baby, okay? And yeah, 24 episodes for Bastard Netflix. Let's go. It's something very, very horrible. Very, very horrible, because the working conditions, you already know, in the anime industry is absolutely horrendous. Very, very bad, to say the least, in terms of these people don't get adequate sleep. These people are treated like if they're just created. They were born into this world to draw animation, to make anime. Like, that's literally the way they live. I remember it was a big controversy, I believe it was last year, if I'm not mistaken, where we saw the director of Attack on Titan's anime over at Mappa, the new studio that's handling it, and dude had the most giant bags under his eyes, and people were in disbelief, and it was trending everywhere. People were like, holy cow, like, that's the director of Attack on Titan. And we know that Studio Mappa, they infamously have a lot of titles studios, and there's been some controversy going on over there in terms of like they're overworked, they're not getting paid, you know, the way they want to be paid or they deserve to be paid, and it's pretty bad. Now the latest with what's going on right now, in case you don't know, the final season of Attack on Titan is currently airing, with the final season part 2, again by Studio Mappa, and one of the directors said something that was making a few waves over on Twitter, and it was just heartbreaking to hear. Absolutely heartbreaking. Let's read. At Teruyukiom, he said, "I went home for the first time in 3 days," and he said that on February 7, 2022. So if he went home for the first time in 3 days, that means he was more than likely at Studio Mappa, unless, I don't know, he went for a vacation, unless something crazy, which I highly doubt, in the middle of a hectic work schedule and all of that stuff that they have going on right now, that he just, hey, you know, unless, I don't know, maybe he got arrested and he spent the night in bookings or some shit like that. No, that's more than likely due to his insanely bad work schedule over there at Studio Mappa, creating Attack on Titan. And I ain't gonna lie, that when I saw that, at first I had to look at it like, what? You haven't been home? This is the first time you've been home in 3 days. What have you been doing? If this man has been slaving away, drawing for the last 3 days, and he's just now getting home, that's terrible. And the fact that it doesn't help or benefit when he's saying things like that, where if you remember, again, it was, I want to say about a year or so ago, that Studio Mappa were talking about, oh yeah, we created this new center. They built this whole new living quarters, essentially, where people could stay for days on end drawing. So they basically made like a live-in studio at Mappa. And if even the director, right, because you know there's ranks, there's like an entry-level freelance animator, there's different levels to this shit. Ultimately, if a director is putting to the point of he's taking 3 days to get home, that is horrible. Like, the working conditions over in the anime industry might be even worse than we thought if this is occurring. I mean, again, we've seen the pictures of what do look like with the bags under his eyes. I don't know, man. And where do the consumers come in, right? Because we love anime so much. A lot of people, they forget that there's people that, you know, real life people that bleed, sweat, and cry over all this shit. Blood, sweat, and tears. You know what I'm saying? That people won't even go out and, like, you know, let's just say there should be a protest. There should be something going on to help these people. Because, again, that's unacceptable. You're working for 3 days straight on Attack on Titan, and then on top of that, I can only imagine what their mindsets must be like. I'm killing myself to make this, and then there's going to be the dude that's going to come out and say this is trash, or they ruined what Studio Wit did. So you imagine what the mental health status of these people is going to be. Things need to change. People are going to crash and burn, and eventually that Studio Mappa quality, that, you know, high-budgeted jazz that they give us, is going to start deteriorating. Because when you don't got the talent, when you don't got the experienced people anymore because they're dying or they're walking away from the industry because they can't do it anymore, then what? Then everybody's going to suffer regardless. So I think Studio Mappa and all of the anime studios that do things like that need a reality check and need to take care of their staff ASAP before it gets worse, because that's not good. That's a class action lawsuit. But yeah, I just absolutely had to address this. The director of Attack on Titan talking about he ain't been home in 3 days. What is going on over there in Japan? Studio Mappa, I don't care how great your anime is, at the cost of human life, is not freaking worth it. So y'all need to get it together and stop treating these people this way. I mean, for the love of God. 3 days? Let's move on before this goes from me giving you the news to me ranting. Okay, people, next up, we got updates on the final chapter of Fire Force. I want to say it was about a week or so ago now at this particular point that they were talking about, boom, Fire Force has 2 chapters left. Now we're getting updates on the final chapter. It says here, the final chapter of Fire Force by Atsushi Okubo will have 33 pages, including 13 color pages. That's pretty freaking awesome. The manga will also get one of those rare manga covers of Weekly Manga Magazine issue 13 on February 23rd for its finale, and the current lineup of Weekly Shonen Magazine artists will offer tribute illustrations as well, you know, as one final farewell to Fire Force. And that's crazy, a chapter left. Like, it was just the other day I was going to report, and I was like, I'll get to it eventually, that there's 2 chapters left. We're at the final chapter stage of Fire Force. Wow. And when, you know, it happens, I'll report on that as well to let you guys know Fire Force is over. But yikes, a chapter away. It's so crazy. It's gonna definitely feel a little bit emptier without Atsushi Okubo's Fire Force, and without Atsushi Okubo, because if you remember correctly, if you've been following, he did say back in 2020 this was going to be his final manga. They did Soul Eater, now he's doing, you know, Fire Force, and he's wrapping it up and he's walking away. So man, salute to that guy, right? Fire Force doing how many, a couple hundred chapters, something crazy like that. Like, Fire Force ran for an ill minute. I think it started started serialization, I want to say about 2015-ish, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been 2015. That's a long run. That's a long run. It had a couple of seasons. It probably maybe might get one more. Hopefully, I hope they wrap that shit up with the anime, man. Don't leave it on suspended animation. But yeah, people, final chapter of Fire Force, again, 33 pages, including 13 color pages, the final hoorah, which I'm also hearing something very interesting. I have no idea, so I'm not trying to spoil anything, but I'm hearing there's potential that Fire Force could actually be connected canonically to Soul Eater. Like, it could be a prequel of some sorts, if I'm not mistaken. I'm hearing rumblings of that, and if that's the case, that's really freaking awesome, and I love to see it, and that's kind of dope as well. Atsushi Okubo combining both of his universes together and then walking away like, yo, dog, this is what I created. I put this together. This is what I spent my last 20, 30 years making. Y'all have fun with it. I did what I needed to do. So if that's the case, that's dope too. But shout outs to Fire Force, man. It's been a hell of a ride. It's been a hot ride, right? Fire Force. Remember when we called it Fire Brigade of Flames? What happened to that? But yeah, people, Fire Force final chapter. It's here. Next up, people, I was really excited to talk about this. It's not anime, it's not manga, but it's nerd culture, and it's something that means a lot to me. And I'm sure a few of you out there may have heard of it and may have liked it, may have been a part of the, cult following of this series, because it used to also air on a channel that did and still does air anime titles, which is kind of dope. Adult Swim, in case you, or I think it's returning to Adult Swim, if I'm not mistaken, after being gone for so long. After they lost Family Guy, they were like, oh, can we get Futurama back at least so we don't completely die in the water over here? Yeah, Futurama is making a return. Now, I believe the return is not actually happening on Adult Swim, if I'm not mistaken. There's a little bit of details here, but Futurama returning. First of all, when I heard this news, I was like, yo, tell me, I'm sure there's so many people out there that they spent so many late nights back in the day when it was on Adult Swim, like with the Family Guy and Futurama combo, and just enjoying and theorizing. I used to theorize about this shit. I loved it, even though it was wacky or whatever. That time travel is so fascinating to me. And then the fact that the creator, I believe, of Futurama is one of the creators of The Simpsons. And a lot of people always say that's how he got the Simpsons everything right with it, or all the stuff that's right is because he's actually Fry. Like, I love all of that shit. I think that's so cool. But yeah, we got a return. The first thing that I read personally here was, it was over on Twitter on The Hollywood Reporter, that Futurama has been revived for a 20 episode run on Hulu, and the original creators will return along with voice actors Billy West, Katie Siegel, and more. But let's get into the nitty gritty so we can get all the details, and this is courtesy of Variety. Shout outs to them. Futurama revival ordered at Hulu with multiple original cast members returning. They better have John DiMaggio. You don't got John DiMaggio, you don't got nothing. Good news, everyone. Futurama is being revived at Hulu. Hey, my Hulu X Spotify account is finally going to come in handy. And of course, not only that, and it won't just be to use Hulu to beat out the crashes of Crunchyroll and them when Attack on Titan airs. Hey. Variety has learned that the streaming service has ordered 20 new episodes of the adult animated sci-fi comedy series. The revival hails from David X. Cohen and Matt Groening. Cohen developed the original series with Groening, the series creator. Original series cast members Billy West, Katie Siegel, Tress MacNeille, Morris Lamarck, Lauren Tom, Phil Lamar, and David Herman will all return. John DiMaggio, who voiced Bender and several minor characters, is not currently attached. That's not good, man. No Bender, no Sender. No robot, no go, pa. According to an individual with knowledge of the project, the producers are hopeful DiMaggio will return. Should that not happen, Bender will be recasted. Though DiMaggio did not initially make a statement about the revival, he retweeted several posts in which others expressed their desire for him to return, which means more than likely that he's right now negotiating for a nice payday. At John DiMaggio needs to come back as Bender, or this isn't good news, everyone. While another simply said, come on, pay the man. Yeah, we know it's money. Later Wednesday afternoon, DiMaggio did provide an update through his Twitter, thanking fans for their concerns and promising to keep people posted on his potential involvement with the project. Production will begin this month with an eye towards a 2023 premiere. I'm thrilled to have another chance to think about the future, or really anything other than the present, said Cohen. It's a true honor to announce the triumphant return of Futurama one more time before we get canceled abruptly again. Yeah. And of course, if you don't know about Futurama focuses on the life of Philip Fry West, a 25-year-old pizza delivery boy who accidentally freezes himself on December 31st, 1999, and wakes up 1,000 years later with a fresh start at life and a new group of friends, including Leela, a tough but lovely one-eyed mutant, and Bender, a robot who is fond of drinking excessively, smoking cigars, and stealing anything not nailed down. My corner robot lad. No. This marks the second time the show has been brought back since it's originally launched in 1999. After its initial initial 4-season run on Fox. Reruns of the show found new life as part of the Adult Swim lineup on Cartoon Network and on DVD. 4 direct-to-video films were then produced, which were later re-edited into a 5th season that aired on Comedy Central starting in 2008. Comedy Central would go on to air 2 more seasons consisting of 26 episodes each between 2010 and 2013. The show developed a strong cult following over the years and was also met with critical success. It was nominated for 14 Emmy Awards in total, winning 6. Like, yo, Futurama was that thing, dog, and I'm so freaking happy to say it's returning. Hulu, y'all doing God's work, but John DiMaggio better be there. John DiMaggio better be there, or I don't know what's gonna happen, people. But yeah, Futurama returning 20 episodes, Hulu. Let's do it. If they don't have John DiMaggio, then I don't know. I don't even want Bender recasted. Just have it that Bender went for a drink and he ain't come back or something. Even though Futurama without Bender, is it really Futurama? Okay, next up, people, we got a little bit of an insight into the upcoming chapter of the Boruto Naruto Next Generation manga. If you don't know, and don't worry, I'm not going to give any spoilers other than the text that I'm about to read that might have some sort of remnants of spoilers to it, I guess you would say. Ultimately, the Boruto manga, I'll give it in a nutshell, it's freaking awesome right now. It is at a very high climax. Something very deadly is going on right now. It is crazy. I'm highly anticipating it because Boruto manga 2021 ended off on a high note, started 2022 on a major high note. So right now, as Boruto fans, we're really freaking excited, and we got a little bit more of a spoiler here. It says here by Abdul Zoldak, check out this preview text blurb for Boruto chapter 67. It says here, Boruto chapter 67 preview text via Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 11. Boruto and Kawaki, whose fate have been turned upside down by karma. The fierce battle over karma has reached a new stage. What lies ahead? And I'll be honest with you, that isn't the most giving insight. I thought this was going to be a little bit more than that. Since, again, Boruto Kawaki, whose fates have been turned upside down by karma. Yeah, in a major way, they've been turned upside down. And the fierce battle over karma has reached a new stage. What lies ahead? Well, spoilers. I gotta talk about spoilers just for like the next, I don't know, not even 60 seconds. I gotta say that 3, 2, 1, we're gonna say the spoiler. You ready? I'm giving you time. If you're listening to this on the full FORNEVERNEWS episode, wherever you're at, you got time. But now the time is over because I'm about to say that Boruto is seemingly dead. Boruto is seemingly dead right now. Kawaki seemingly killed him. And yeah, that's definitely changed the fate with the karma. But there's still so many questions right now. It's so exciting, so interesting. And yeah, I was hoping that would have given a little bit more because it was kind of hyped up to me when it was brought to me. Like, yo, you got to check this out. And I was like, oh, fierce battle reached a new stage. Yeah, stage called death. But yeah, Boruto 67, we're only, less than a week away from the chapter, so I'm excited about that. And yeah, this is gonna be a big one. This is probably going to be one of the biggest Boruto chapters of all time, to be honest with you, now that I think about it, because this is going to set forth whatever's going to happen regarding a time skip potentially, and just in general the future of the manga leading to Boruto and Kawaki being older, however old they are in that time skip. So I'm excited. But yeah, again, not the biggest thing in the world. Yes, we know, although that's brand new text and a new blurb that we haven't seen. So yeah, there's that. Just a small little tidbit of next Boruto chapter is gonna be a bit cray-cray, my lord. Moving forward, we got the weekly Shonen magazine author comments, courtesy of Jos_Ke, as well as I want to say WSS Talk Back. Shout outs to the guys, always bringing the goods. We got, for starters, Hiro Mashima, creator of Eden Zero, Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest, Rave. It's official, the anime is receiving a second season. You can see Shiki and the gang animated on TV again. Hells yeah. Eden Zero, I mean, for the most part, I thought it was going to happen. The passing of the director was a little bit of a scary time, like they might pull the plug. That was the person that was, directing everything, putting it together. Thankfully, they didn't. Rest in peace to that person that passed away. But yeah, Eden Zero, baby, let's go. Season 2, Hiro Mashima, god of men. I don't care if you don't like how he writes. I don't care, none of that stuff. His hustle is something that is very admirable. This is entrepreneur. Gotta respect it. Blue Lock, Yusuke Nomura. I've safely entered the Galaxy Gang. My partner is Rowlett. Is he referring to Pokemon? I sound so out of touch. Holy shit, I need to go get the new Pokemon game right now. Then we got Ken Wakui, author of Tokyo Revengers. I'm looking forward to the stage play of Tokyo Revengers Bloody Halloween. Can't wait to go see it. That sounds so fire. Stage play of these motherfuckers throwing hands. Yes, Ken Wakui. God damn it. I'm so scared to catch up to Tokyo Revengers because of what everybody's saying. Please let it be all propaganda and BS. Like, it can't be that bad, can it? I'm scared. Fire Force, Atsushi Okubo. While it's normal to forget 1 or 2 things when going out shopping, I've forgotten up to 5 things. I forget a lot of things. That's why I always write shit down on my phone before I dip, because, like, I need to know what I'm going to get. Shout out to Atsushi Okubo. We got Negi Haruba, author of Sentai Daishikaku, a.k.a. Ranger Reject. Because I thought that it suddenly became super cold for 2 days, here I turned on my AC unit for 2 days straight. Wait, what? Because I thought that it had suddenly become super cold for 2 days here, I turned on my AC unit. Maybe he meant the heat. Yeah, and it's cold as shit. Yo, I'm ready. Spring, please. Spring over here. I need the winter to go. We got George Morikawa, author of Hajime no Ippo. Fiddling around for a lure for a shut-in is waiting for spring. Wait, what? Fiddling around for a lure for a shut-in is waiting for spring. Oh, he's calling himself a shut-in. Shout-outs to Hajime no Ippo and George Morikawa. Nagama Suzuki, author of Four Nights of the Apocalypse. I'll probably spend all of February playing Dying Land 2. Shout-outs to Nagama Suzuki. Man, I need to get more into Fortnite. I know I always say that. Then to wrap this bad boy up, we got To Your Eternity, Yoshitoki Oima. I got to draw drafts for Kyocera's anime. I'd be super happy if you watched the anime on YouTube. Oh, what's that? I'm going to look it up. Kyocera's anime? Okay, I'm going to try and see if I can find out what they're talking about. I want to support the author of To Your Eternity, whatever they're trying to do. Yeah, people, that's the Weekly Shonen Magazine author comments. Pretty interesting stuff. Wow. The next one will probably be the last one we ever see Atsushi Okubo. Oh my god, I'm going to miss some of those stories. This dude used to be hilarious. Wow. Sad time. Okay, quickly, so we're going to keep it in rumor pile. I've heard some other things that kind of substantiate it, and it's kind of already been pushed for the most part, that most of the staff is over there anyways. But apparently, Vinland Saga Season 2 will probably be animated by Studio Mappa. Now, this is, again, a rumor. We're going to keep it as rumor, but I do know for sure that a ton of the staff that worked on Vinland Saga over at WIT has moved over. Like, all of the people that are listed there are currently employees at Mappa. So, essentially, by name, Studio Mappa, seemingly, if everything is up and up, we don't know until they actually full-on release all the info, but based on what is being said, it seems as though Studio Mappa is in name doing Vinland Saga, although majority of the production crew, committee, and all that jazz are still the people that created Season 1. Also interesting to note as well, from what a lot of manga readers tell me, is that Vinland Saga Season 2, the new Vinland Saga, is not going to be as action-oriented. So Mappa, they're going to have a lot easier of a time, and the people working on this are going to have a bit of an easier time, because they don't got to draw like, oh my god, all these action sequences and anything, although I'd imagine probably later in the season there's going to be some type of action. But either way, yeah, from what I'm hearing, it's a rumor, but also it's kind of substantiated by the fact that a lot of the people that worked on Season 1 of Vinland Saga are over there, which it's, again, nuts. Mappa, how are you doing all of this? How are they creating such a monopoly on the anime industry to the point where, I mean, it sounds like WIT Studio messed up. That's one thing that I gotta be honest with you guys. It sounds like WIT Studio. How do you fumble Attack on Titan over to Mappa? How do you fumble now potentially Vinland Saga over to Mappa? Like, the best thing that they got going right now is the fact that they're making something godlike like Ranking of Kings. And I hope that Studio WIT doesn't lose Ranking of Kings. And I hope in general they're able to survive, because they're in a financial rut right now. And the fact that they're losing Vinland Saga, they're losing staff, people that create anime for them. Dark times, especially if this rumor is legit. But either way, Vinland Saga is definitely not really being made at WIT. It's just a matter of like, wow, so it's technically like a Mappa thing. Mappa again? Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, Hell's freaking Paradise, Attack on Titan. God damn you, Mappa. God damn you. But we gotta wait and see. Either way, Vinland Saga, yeah, it's going to be an interesting production. I just hope that this doesn't mess it all up, right? Like, I think we're in a different time now, and Mappa has shown and validated that you can switch studios and still put out a quality product. Attack on Titan, prime example of that. There's other ones like, Seven Deadly Sins that get us a little wary, but we're not going to... No. Vinland Saga is not going to turn out like Seven Deadly Sins. We're not even going to put that in the air. Okay, people, and lastly, I wanted to give an update on the upcoming The Batman film, where I want to say, less than a month away, or about a month away from the movie. And yeah, we got a little bit of an update on The Batman by Robert Pattinson, and it says here, The Batman is a true detective story, equal parts intense and sad, Robert Pattinson says. Fans buckle up, because it sounds like The Batman is going to be one intense emotional ride. In a profile for GQ published on Tuesday, star Robert Pattinson pulled back the curtain for Matt Reeves' highly anticipated installment in the Warner Brothers DC superhero franchise. The film, due out in early March, wastes no time gripping viewers, says the actor. I watched the rough cut of the movie by myself, and the first shot is so jarring from any other Batman movie that it's just kind of a totally different pace. Pattinson told GQ, "It was what Matt was saying from the first meeting I had with him. I want to do a 70s noir detective story like The Conversation, and I kind of assumed that meant the mood board or something, the look of it, but from the first shot, it's, oh, this actually is a detective story." Pattinson's Bruce Wayne will be different from other big screen incarnations of the by-day billionaire playboy, the actor explained, saying he's kind of a weirdo as Bruce and a weirdo as Batman, and I kept thinking there's a more nihilistic slant to it, because normally in all the other movies, Bruce goes away, trains, and returns to Gotham, believing in himself, thinking, I'm going to change things here. But in this, it's sort of implied that he's had a bit of a breakdown. That is interesting. The Batman will feature Gotham in the grips of hell, overrun with crime and despair. That's Gotham. But unlike other Batman films, the character is not hailed as a hero or the answer to prayers. The people of Gotham think that he's just another symptom of how shit everything is. There's this scene where he's beating up everyone on this train platform, and I just love that there's a bit in the script where the guy he's saving is just also like, it's worse. You're either being mugged by some gang members or a monster comes and like fucking beats everyone up. The guy has no idea that Batman's coming to save him. It just looks like this werewolf. It also sounds like Bruce Wayne will be far more damaged in this film. His emotional state clearly unhealthy, the actor revealed. All the other stories say the death of his parents is why Bruce becomes Batman. But I was trying to break that down in what I thought was a real way instead of trying to rationalize it. He's created this intricate construction for years and years and years, which has culminated in this Batman persona, but it's not like a healthy thing that he's done, almost like a drug addiction, continued Pattinson. There's a moment when Alfred asked Bruce what his family would have think of him tarnishing the family legacy with this new side hustle, and Bruce says, "This is my family legacy. If I don't do this, then there's nothing else for me." I always read that as not like there's nothing else, like I don't have a purpose, but like I'm checking out, and I think that makes it a lot sadder. Like it's a sad movie. It's kind of about him trying to find some element of hope in himself and not just the city. Oh my God, Robert Pattinson, you an actor for real, because you really getting me into this. If it, nothing else sold me about this film, I swear to God, this interview is selling me. Normally, Bruce never questions his own ability. He questions the city's ability to change, but I mean, it's kind of such an insane thing to do. The only way I can live is to dress up as a bat. That is wild, yo. Give me this movie now. Like, I'm going to watch this movie, dog. I swear to God. That shit was so fire. Shout out to Robert Pattinson. You got 110% believer. Right now, you just witnessed ForneverWorld go from excited to watch this movie to, oh, this might be the movie, dog. Wow, that sounds so a different look, a more realistic look, in my opinion, of somebody that is fucking crazy, that wants to dress up like a bat and go and start swinging punches at people in the streets. Like, oh, something I really wanted to talk about, and I'm really, really excited to mention the fact that Katekyo Hitman Reborn is looking like it's making waves, and it's looking like if we got Bleach back, we're probably going to be getting Reborn back at some given point in the future, because a new Twitter account was set up. I believe it's called KH Reborn _PR. And it's an official one. It's basically, I don't know, the team that has been created to work on the Katekyo Hitman Reborn franchise. And they started off this first tweet as follows. From February 2022, the anime Katekyo Hitman Reborn product information official Twitter started. We will continue to send out new products and event information, so thank you for your cooperation. And this was set up February 8th at 7 a.m. for me, at 7 a.m. EST, and it had like 2,000 at the time quote tweets, over 10,000 retweets, almost 10,000 likes. It's probably way more at that particular point. But yeah, so if they're doing that, and you could say, oh, it's just product, whatever, Reborn's been over for a very long time. If they're putting together a crew, a committee, a group of people to whether it be promote or sell products in the name of Katekyo Hitman Reborn, on top of that, they said the Hitman Reborn, the anime in particular, more than likely they're scouting what to do next and taking it slow in terms of the revival of the Katekyo Hitman Reborn series. And we could probably see the same way Bleach is returning, we could probably see a Katekyo Hitman Reborn return in the near future. And oh my God, I think we're already seeing it. I think we're seeing the beginning embers of burning passion of like, yo, Reborn's about to actually make a legit return. This is freaking crazy. When I saw this, I was like, what year is it? Because it was quite a few chapters. It was like, I think 3 arcs that never got animated. Now, you never know what could happen ultimately, the future, what it could hold. told. It could be that this is just a one and done thing. It could be that they're not really all that enthusiastic about making it. They're just putting out little products. So we gotta wait and see. But at the very least, this is a good sign that there could potentially be a return of Katekyo Hitman Reborn. And again, I'm still like, holy cow, because another thing that is very interesting to note, to my knowledge, the studio, the anime studio that created Katekyo Hitman Reborn, that made it and all that jazz, they're defunct now. Like, they're out of business. So essentially, Katekyo Hitman Reborn's licensing rights, in order for an anime studio to come license the title from Shueisha and make an anime, is up in the air, to the point where they could decide, you know what, we're gonna just do like a whole revival of Katekyo Hitman Reborn from the very beginning, which I don't know how that would work. I don't know if that'd be received well, because what year? I think Reborn went off air, if I'm not mistaken, like 2010, 2011, somewhere around there. It's been a while. It's been a while. So they could decide, you know what, nobody's gonna go watch the 200 episodes where like a good chunk of those is the daily life arc, which, in case you don't know, daily life arc is just like slice of life comedy in the midst of a shonen battle series. So they could just say, yo, we're gonna redo it, we're gonna put like little, maybe like 3 episodes to represent the daily life stuff, and we're gonna jump straight into it. There could be a massive revival. Mappa Studios could come into, oh god, please, no more Mappa. Like, it'd be fire, and I highly doubt it would happen, but it would be fire, and everybody would go crazy if Studio Ufotable decided, yo, we're gonna do a revival of that. Like, you know how we did reviving the Fate franchise and all that jazz? We're gonna revive Katekyo Hitman Reborn and do a proper adaptation from start to finish. Oh my god, considering Akira Amano, I mean, I want to say she does have like a new title that she's working on. We reported it here, the Ran Komonohashi detective manga. So technically she's not really available to make new chapters, but I can guarantee, considering the fact that nothing she's done since Katekyo Hitman Reborn has even gotten close to the notoriety. She's had just a lot of one shots, like, what was it, Mary, something about Mary, like, not something about Mary, that's a movie, but you get what I'm saying. There was a few different projects that she tried since Reborn, and none of them has really panned out. I think Ran Komonohashi has like 300,000 in circulation, which is great, but in terms of like, yo, Reborn was massive. So that's also up in the air as well, in terms of the license could go to any studio, and they could decide, we don't want to continue off from where it left off. We're gonna redo it from the beginning, and I'm here for it, because those character designs in today's modern art and animation, I want to see that. So this is right here, something small, but everything got to start somewhere. And definitely, if you have the opportunity to support Reborn in any way possible, you know what to do if you want that anime return, because it's looking very possible. I think Bleach right now just opened the floodgates of a lot of shit you never thought you were gonna see again. You're gonna see again. But yeah, shout outs to Katekyo Hitman Reborn. They opened up a new Twitter for it, for the anime and whatever they're gonna do. We could be having anime, I don't know, maybe 3 years from now or something. Let's freaking go. Next up, people, we got the weekly Shonen Jump author comments. Let's take a look. There's always something interesting in these bad boys. We got a new serialization, by the way, I didn't mention, called Akane Banashi by Yuki Suenaga. And I want to say this is actually about Rakugo, if I'm not mistaken. They said, yay, serialization. Yes, this is great. This is great. This is great. Thank you for your support. Okay, you really enthusiastic. Let's go. Let's get it. We got Eiichiro Oda, creator of One Piece. When I saw people with AirPods, I used to think, hey, you have udon in your ears. But I tried them, and they're frighteningly awesome. Yo, you got udon in your ears, dog. Yo, savage. Then we got Yuto Suzuki, author of Sakamoto Days. My editor sent me some eel. I can eat it quickly when I'm busy, so it's so helpful. Some eel don't sound bad, dog. Then we got Yuki Tabata, author of Black Clover. Xenon received a birthday gift and some early Valentine's Day chocolate. Yo, Shorty's really sending, like, yo, okay. I'm happy when villains get presents too. Thank you. Yeah, because he's gonna eat them shits and probably share them with his family. Shout out to Yuki Tabata. My god, one of the most wholesome mangaka ever. We got Hajime Komodo, author of Marshall. Winter is cold and dry, so I hope spring comes soon. I swear to god, please, can it come already? Like, I'm waiting. We're here, we're waiting. We want spring. I need a move where spring and summer are more of a thing. I freaking hate the snow so much. On to the next author comment we got here. Oh, there's another author on the Akane Banashi series. They're Takamasa Moi. This is my first serialization as just the artist. Okay, so they used to be a full-on manga. Now they only do art. I'll do my best with the art, so I would appreciate everyone's support. Shout outs to them. Why does it look like their avatar is like a... I don't even know. Is that a clown or something? Hold up. What's going on there? Interesting. Then we got Gen Osuka, author of Doran Dororan. I eat Mr. Donuts every week. I like the chocolate mochi donuts and the angel cream. Okay. We got Kohei Horikoshi, My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia is ending right now. No. I just had to keep you guys on your toes, see if you're still paying attention. You're probably like, what for them? I played Smash Bros for the first time in a while, but my fingers still remember the Falco combo. Nicely done, fingers. It's like riding a bike. You never forget. We got Boichi, artist of Dr. Stone. I'm drawing with everything I got. I bet you are. You're a freaking god of art, just like Yusuke Murata. And then I guess we'll close off with, ooh, I did not realize that. That looks so bad. Oh my god. Pray for Yuji Kaku. Author of Ashimon Yuji Kaku. Natsume Arata no Kekkon has been great from the start. The latest volume was awesome too. And the reason I said all of that was because he's at the very bottom. I don't know if that means anything because a lot of people say that means nothing. Okay, it means nothing. But either way, he's at the bottom. Shoutouts to Yuji Kaku and Ashimon. If that shit gets canceled, bro, everybody just go to Jump Plus. Fuck the weekly Shonen Jump at this point. Just go to Jump Plus. They don't value really awesome storytelling or something. Well, they do. There's One Piece, but you get what I'm saying. I'm salty. Next up, people, we got the top 50 best-selling manga of the week. Let's take a look, lads. We got 50 to 41, My Dress Up Darling Volume 3, and in this week, it sold 13,798, bringing its total to 296. My Dress Up Darling, everybody keeps telling me about that anime. Then, I don't want to be redundant about it, there's a bunch of JJK. There's another My Dress Up Darling, this time it's Volume 2, doing 14,000, so the anime is making waves. Then, up to number 41, again, I don't want to... It's Jujutsu Kaisen takeover season. We get it. But Volume 1 of Kimetsu Gakuen, the spin-off gag series of Demon Slayer, with another 14,000, almost 100K on a gag little manga. Demon Slayer, baby. That Demon Slayer effect. Then places 40 through 31, JJK, Mystery to Lunakari. Yo, I heard Mystery to Lunakari has sold already millions of copies. I don't doubt it. Look at everything here. Just all through here is Mystery to Lunakari and then Jujutsu Kaisen. God damn it. Let's see. Number 30 through 21. More Mystery to Lunakari and Jujutsu. Oh my god. Literally from 30 to 22 is everything is Mystery to Lunakari. Because people keep on correcting how I say it. And then Jujutsu Kaisen. And then at number 21, Witch Watch Volume 4. With 17,000 this week. I wonder if that's enough to keep it safe or if they're going to give that. I could see that getting the axe. I'll be honest with you. I can see Shonen Jump saying, you know what? You're out of here. You're only doing 17K. Although, it's not too bad. But Volume 4, you should be on the 30s and 40s, I feel. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Then places 20 through 11. More Jujutsu Kaisen. Tokyo Aliens. Okay. Twin Star Exorcist Volume 27. I'm surprised it hasn't ended yet because they announced a minute ago that they were in the climax or whatnot, or they were in the grand finale of it all with 19,690 in 3 days. That's not bad considering it's 27 volumes deep and never really hit that mainstream success. Okay, then we got top 10. I'm just jumping straight to top 10. Number 10, Tokyo Revengers Volume 25 with 20K, bringing this total to 971. I'm gonna throw a little hoorah when it hits a million because I've been waiting to see that hit a million. Jujutsu Kaisen 0. I really need to get that volume, dog. Like that's something matter of fact, let me know. Do y'all think I should? This is Berserk, Legendary Godlike, but I kind of wanted to show up some of the newer stuff I got right here. This is like Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, and I think I got like Marshall. Where's Marshall? I don't know. Either way, let me know y'all want me to put those Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man here. Switch it up a little bit. So yeah, more Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 17 with 26,000. Then going up a little bit. Owari no Seraph Volume 26, 3 days, 33,000. In case y'all don't know, Owari no Seraph, aka Seraph of the End, is ending. So 33,000 all this way, volume 26 later. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Then we got My Hero Academia Team Up Mission Volume 3. That's interesting, doing 34,000, hitting number 4. What is that like a spin-off thing? Is that like a comedy spin-off, or I'm not sure what Team Up Mission, or is that based on like a game? Either way, shout outs to them. I don't think I've ever seen like a My Hero spin-off thingy majig on the charts before. Then we got Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 18 at number 2, which I don't know what the hell at number 3. The Fable The Second Contact Volume 2 with 44,000. Okay, I might take a look at that. Then number 2, Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 18 with 15,000. No, that's probably maybe 45,000. That looks a little wrong. Probably 45,000, I'd imagine. Either that or 150. Probably 45,000. Bringing his total to 1.7. That was a little error. And then number 1, taking it home after the big announcement about a month ago that My Hero is on its final stretch, and then the latest chapter looking like it's really on its final stretch. My Hero Academia Volume 33 in 3 days, 314,000 copies. That's how we get it done, baby. Such a ominous cover. I never really looked at this one in particular. That's Deku all tired, dog. He's tired, and you got Uraraka and Ida on there. That's 314,000, not bad. Consider if it was a full week, it might have hit the 400. Like really, really dope stuff there. And that's the most notable by far release, because number 2, again, I want to say that's 45,000. Nothing out of this world, but of course that's been here for a million years. And yeah, people, those are the top 50 best-selling manga of the week. Aside from My Hero, nothing really blew me the hell away, I'll be honest with you. But shout outs to My Hero Academia, especially topping the charts as always. Like, dog, this is gonna be a final insane year for our people down at My Hero. Like the heroes down at My Hero. And since we're on the topic of My Hero Academia, let's talk a little My Hero Academia games. It says here, My Hero Academia Ultra Impact brings RPG combat to mobile devices. Following up on its launch in Japan, My Hero's RPG My Hero Ultra Impact is now available on iOS and Android in 57 countries, including North America, which I actually had downloaded it because I thought it was the Rumble one that was supposed to be like on consoles and shit. I was like, wait, what is this? It's kind of like Chibi Eyes. It's alright. The localized version is fully up to date with the new characters, features, and events that have been added since its initial debut, and you can check out a sample in the launch trailer below. Players will get 750 hero gems, which is enough for 15 recruits, as a thank you for those who participated in pre-registration. There will also be an increase in drop rates on global release Celebration Recruit for the highest rarity characters, and then it's just got like a whole bunch of different features. Story mode begins with meeting of a character special attacks. Like, there's just a bunch of stuff on here. Again, experience a casual quirk battle RPG where you engage foes 3-on-3 using the heroes you've trained. Original 3D models of the characters you love with appeal. They do look a little cool. I ain't gonna lie, I like the character designs. Use quirks with a simple touch. Train in the unforeseen simulation joint with the UA high teachers and pro heroes. Yeah, I think that this could be a fun game. Again, it has a lot of details there if you're interested. Shout out to Crunchyroll for the article. But yeah, I don't know. I'm more so really hyped for that free console game that they were talking about. Like, that one, it looks alright. It kind of came out of nowhere, to be honest with you. And I might give it a little dabble. Maybe jump on there. Maybe see if my daughter likes it. My daughter loves video games. Why won't she love a chibi My Hero game, okay? Come on, Mords. You got to get into the anime and manga realm with your pops. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, new My Hero game for the mobile. If you're interested, it could be a way to kill some time or something. Or, yeah, I was going to say waste time, but anime, anything you could really say is wasting time. Going to a business meeting, I'm wasting time. I could be with my family. There's everything is a waste of time when you put it in a different perspective. Yeah, people, My Hero Academia mobile game. Yeah. Okay, people, next up, this was a funny, interesting one. In case you don't know, Attack on Titan's new opening, very, very awesome heavy metal song by Sim. I believe it's called The Rumbling. And ultimately, I've been listening to it damn near every day. No. But according to this, it says 3 out of 4 members of Sim, the group that did the Attack on Titan opening, band of Attack on Titan's The Rumbling, said they want to make a song for Chainsaw Man. Basically, they're throwing their hat in the ring to see if they could get the Chainsaw Man opening, because they know that's about to go through the moon when Chainsaw Man drops. Like, hey, maybe this is gonna be huge. And I think that could work, because Chainsaw Man feels very metal too. In fact, they've had similar sounding music in some of the promo trailers that they had, like the manga and stuff like that. I think Sim could actually nail it. And if they did something like that, all I ever wanted to do was fuck bitches. My name is Denji. That could work for Chainsaw Man. It definitely could. Shout outs to Sim. They got some good ass taste. I love it when even the band is like, you know, into the series. Like, I remember with Tokyo Ghoul, I almost said Tokyo Revengers. Tokyo Ghoul opening 1, Unravel. I remember the lead singer of that group, or is it just one person? I forget. But either way, it was the singer of Unravel. He said that he had read the story and like he cried when he read it, and that's why he wrote the song the way he did, because it was actually straight up for Tokyo Ghoul and how much he loved the character. And it resonates when a song is written specifically with a character in mind, and you play it on the opening and it's a really good song. It makes it 10 times more, because you know, like, oh, this is really this character's song. Like, this is what if this character could write music. So yeah, I could see Sim doing something really awesome for Chainsaw Man. Let's go. Yeah, Sim, bring it, let's go. Okay, next up, something that I did want to bring attention to you guys, and it would be awesome if you guys, anybody that's interested in this, anybody that want to speak out about this, definitely do so, because I've seen a movement about a week ago now. At this point, I want to say probably about a week ago, there was a video campaign where dozens of animation workers and allies spoke out for hashtag New Deal for Animation. And basically the big crux of why they're doing this campaign and whatnot is the fact that people that write for animation, people that work on animation, even if the script is exactly the same, even if it's the same page length, even if it's the same notoriety, a live action show gets paid way more, and the writers on a live action show get paid way more than somebody that put the same amount of effort, same type of hype, all of that good stuff into animation. So they created this campaign in order to publicize that, yo, writers in the animation field need more, deserve more, and they're trying to make a little bit of noise over there, and I support it. I'm always supportive of the creatives, the creators, the people that really make this all possible, getting their fair share. I want to get, one of my missions in life is to make it a thing of the past of the idea and term the starving artist. The artist shouldn't be starving, because if there's no artist, there's no art, there's no people buying tickets to look at the art, okay? So that whole idea and how it's been normalized throughout time of the starving artist, the artist should never starve. He should be the first one getting fed, because there's no lines, there's no tourism, there's no nothing without the artist. The artist is the biggest thing. So when I hear this and I hear it, like, yo, it's really ridiculous that the live action writers, half the time, live action, they hit or miss or whatever, they get in so much more than animation. But there's a lot that goes into animation, a lot to think about, continuity, all sorts of stuff. Same thing with live actions, just there's so much more. And not to mention the fact that animation, it goes off to a studio sometimes overseas. They don't even get to see what's going on, so they gotta really be cognizant with every little move that they plan in a script. Live action, you can walk up to the director and walk up to the scene as it's being filmed. So I definitely feel like animation deserves better, and I'm hoping that this movement can make some waves. I'm not sure what's happened since they opened it up. I do know, though, that they're campaigning to get more funds, get more in general pay, higher pay for people that work in the animation field as writers. They deserve it. I ain't gonna lie, it's something I'm passionate about. Y'all know I've been writing for a good minute now. Pay the writers, give them what they deserve. So yeah, people, I just wanted to bring it to you guys' attention. Hashtag a new deal for animation. If you want to support the movement and help these writers get their just dues, because yeah, in 2022, no writers, when, entertainment of that type is one of the biggest things out there, should be like, yo, dog, how we getting so low pay and all that jazz compared to our live action counterparts? It just shouldn't happen. Okay, people, next up, something that I wanted to take a look at, a series I've been meaning to talk about for a good minute. Haven't gotten around to it yet. I'm about like 20-something chapters deep, I want to say, into it, and it's like maybe 50-ish, 60 at this particular point. But it's a newer series, but nevertheless, I wanted to take a look at what the sales success has been thus far for. You may have heard it, and shout outs to @Yellowstone over on Twitter for these stats. Sakamoto Days, manga volume sales evolution. Considering it's a newer title from Weekly Shonen Jump, it's done pretty well with solid gains each volume. And it just shows here, volume 1 did a little under 20, volume 2 did a little under 30, volume 3 did a little under 50, volume 4. So it's continuously increasing without an anime, with the fact that marketing wise, it is not, I'm gonna just keep it real, especially for a Jump manga, it is not the most enticing to put an overweight old man as the thing that markets your series. It's just not. It's not gonna get like, oh shit, yo, that's the one with the fat old guy, right? Oh my god. So the fact that it is doing this and continuously growing regardless is a good sign, and I do think Sakamoto Days is going to be one of those that breaks the mold, similar to the way like Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen and all these darker shonen break the mold. This is going to break the mold in a different manner in terms of the main character is like an old dude that just wants to be left the fuck alone with his family and shit, you know what I'm saying? So really, really awesome stuff, and it's dope to see Sakamoto Days. I hope probably, I don't even know, because there's just so much competition now. We're at, February 2022? Maybe middle of next year we'll hear something about an anime. Because at this point, considering we haven't even heard about Marshall and Undead Unluck getting anime yet, and they're both at that point where they should have an anime announcement, I'm gonna guess Sakamoto Days won't get an anime announcement until probably even after a year from me saying this right now, which is crazy, but Jump been moving different lately. And yeah, people, just wanted to give you guys a little update on the sales success of Sakamoto Days. Now, this was something that I wanted to bring to you guys' attention, final story of the episode, and it was basically a look at how much manga is dominating the comic book scene. It says here, well, look at what dominates the comic scene in the US. Manga, obviously. Manga was up 170% in 2021 versus 2020, and it made up 77% of all comics sold in the retail market in the US. Just looking at it right here. Basically, the blue is manga, 76.7%. The orange is comics and graphic novels like superhero shit like Batman, only 6.4%. And then the gray is comics, graphic novels of all other genres. So doesn't that orange thing right here, like, yo, let's take a second. For starters, shout outs to anime and manga. We did it, baby. We did it from the days of people practically throwing proverbial eggs at us for loving this shit. We did it. Look at that. Look at that, right? But above all else, why aren't DC and Marvel? Well, Marvel, they got their movies working, so they don't really give a shit about any of this. But why not try and bleed into, instead of continuing on this dying fight of the capes and cows and the crusades, right? Leave that shit for the animation and stuff. Why not focusing on putting out more books that are other genres? Slice of life comic books. And I'm sure there's plenty out there. But DC, for example, they could market, like, imagine a slice of life, maybe less serious, but a slice of life Joker comic, where it's just like less on the serious of him being a Joker, maybe a different twist on it altogether, like he's just a sad motherfucker that every once in a blue, like the peak of an arc he does, which, let me not give these ideas away. This is, you know what I'm saying, like, I gotta figure it out. But all I'm gonna say is, make the orange more into gray, and the gray will eventually turn into blue. Very simplistic in my opinion. Obviously it's a big struggle, don't get me wrong, because manga has everything by the proverbial throat. But that's not to say that they're going to always have that, because everything has its time. We got Korean comics coming up. We got a lot of different things happening. I want to check back a year from today. We're February 2022. February 2023, I want to see what that's looking like. I want to see February 2024, what this is looking like. If the comic book industry can change, if manga is going to be the predominant thing, because again, with things like Solo Leveling, Tower of God, God of High School, all of these other comics, and then on top of that, you got other things that are coming and making waves. Manga, you know what I'm saying? It won't always be the dominating factor, but I gotta stress that the superhero comic book stuff, maybe it might be time to slow things down and take some of those initiatives and move it elsewhere. Because how many times can you retell the same story of Batman? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different when you're putting in a live action, different medium, but in terms of comic books, the books themselves, you've been telling the same story about a dude that lost his parents for like 70 years or some shit. When was Batman made? 1939 or some shit? Like, long time of telling about Batman. 80 years of telling about Batman losing his parents. Try something else. And don't get me wrong, that's my favorite superhero. I love Batman. I love Batman and Superman and all of that stuff. Sales wise, it doesn't make sense to keep on doing it. Money wise, marketing wise, the business aspect, you would probably move on and use all of the millions of comic books for eventual adaptations and stuff like that. But nobody is going and watching the latest Batman and then running, oh my god, I gotta get the comic books for that. That's kind of like something outdated. Try something else. Moving on, there's apparently a massive delay for Attack on Titan's anime. That probably is going to make a few people be like, what? What are we doing here? Because according to this anyway, it says here, Attack on Titan episode 87 delayed by 1 week. It will now air on April 3rd instead of March 27th due to a special programming. Episode 84 will also be delayed by 10 minutes on NHK Broadcasting. And I believe as it stands right now, as of the recording of this video, there are 82 episodes out for Attack on Titan. So the 10-minute delay will be, which is a really weird delay. Maybe there's something going on like for like, I don't know, Olympic sports or something there for them to, even though we just had Olympics. So I'm not sure, but maybe it's something there regarding the 10-minute, because who thinks, yeah, we're going to be delayed by 10 minutes in 2 weeks. So that's either maybe a big commercial or something. But then also this whole thing about being delayed by 1 week, it's more important than you realize. Well, for starters, I'm sure a lot of people are like, well, goddamn, so we're going to be delayed by a week. Episode 87 is going to be delayed. What's going on here? That's definitely going to piss you off. But then on top of the fact that it makes me wonder what's going on, because in case you missed it, you may want to go back and watch one of the previous episodes of FORNEVERNEWS, where I spoke about that they had a big panel that they were doing, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was on March 27th for Attack on Titan. It was supposed to be a big final panel and all of this good stuff. However, if the finale, which was conveniently lined up for the day of that panel, is now getting pushed back to April 3rd, for starters, are they going to push that panel back to April 3rd? Are they planning something? Is the programming that's going to be in place of that episode of Attack on Titan episode 87. Is that programming going to be something related to Attack on Titan? A big announcement? Was this planned all along and they're just like trolling us essentially? And maybe that's why they're not going to have nothing on that day, because it's going to be a big announcement, and the following week, who knows, it's going to be a made-for-TV movie or something. That would be silly. Made-for-TV movie. No, put that shit in theaters, get your money. But Attack on Titan episode 87 delayed by 1 week again. That's a little bit of a ways off, because right now, as of the recording of this video, we haven't even reached episode 83 yet. We're only on 82. So we're about a month away from that episode airing, or well, when it would have aired, because again, there's a big delay. And yeah, I mean, I'm not the most freaked out about it. I think it's kind of interesting that it's ending. The anime is ending almost a year to the day of when the manga's final chapter wrapped up. It was sometime around this year, if I'm not mistaken, that the manga ended off. So yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest angry in the world. I'm just curious as to how that's going to align with all the plans that I'm sure they had, including that big panel that they were going to do for the finale, if it's not lined up properly. And again, I'm sure some people are going to be upset, like, yo, I can't miss out on episodes. But you got to think, you got to be a little bit more courteous. You got to have a little bit more grace for these people, considering all that they're up against. We just talked about the other day, Eren Yeager, the voice actor, losing his voice. We talked about one of the animators on Attack on Titan not coming home for 3 days. And they're still, this could also possibly be due to, them falling behind schedule. And that's because their schedule to begin with was ridiculous, because Studio Wit, what took them years to make each season, Studio Mappa is doing in like a fraction of the time. So yeah, there's going to be delays. There's going to be all sorts of stuff. We're going to have a lot of messed up things happening. So ultimately, give them a little bit of grace. Don't meet this announcement with anger or anything like that. If anything, meet it with encouragement for the voice actors, for the writers, for the animators, for the directors, for everybody involved. To give them, a little bit of encouragement, so to speak. As the Japanese would say, ganbatte kudasai! Do your best! Because, yeah, this has been a tall order for these people, and I don't need to keep regurgitating each and every episode of how ridiculous the anime industry is and how much work the staff over at Studio Mappa have cut out for them. But, yeah, Attack on Titan episode 87, delayed by 1 week. Again, this was supposed to air March 27th. It will now finish. The Attack on Titan anime will end 2 days after April Fool's, and then Isayama's going to pop up on April Fool's. April Fool's is not ending. We got a whole other shit planned for you guys. Get ready, folks. Moving on is a topic of conversation that I've seen even amongst people that I know. I've seen in some of the fandoms. I've seen just in general a little bit of discourse in the One Piece community towards One Piece itself. I think one of the biggest factors that is making a lot of these complaints that honestly have started to come out of nowhere ultimately is stemming from essentially, I think, the fatigue people are having. I think we've been in Wano for a little bit too long. I think certain aspects of Wano has pissed people off, and even though I ain't gonna lie, when it comes to One Piece, it's a different breed at this point. For me, I'm along for the ride. If there's downs, I'm gonna call it out. If there's ups, I'm gonna call it out. But ultimately, I'm just enjoying it. There's no like, oh god, that's it, I'm dropping it. Unless, I don't know, tomorrow Luffy became a one-armed dwarf and said, nah, fuck One Piece, dog. I'm just gonna chill on my boat and eat cereal and drink booze. I would be like, I would be devastated. I'd be like, Oda, did you fucking hit your head? Like, what's going on here? So unless we went that silly or ridiculous with the story, I think I'm on board. And even I'd still be on board if Luffy became a one-armed dwarf too. It's just a screw One Piece. I want cereal and booze. That I'd be, again, just devastated. However, the fandom in Japan is starting to squeak a different tune, so to speak, when it comes to One Piece in general. I think a lot of the breaks is starting to get to people. There's a lot here, courtesy of Kotaku. This article, it's kind of interesting. Let's take a read. One Piece manga's hiatus leads fans to complaints in Japan. Now, mind you, it's been, I can't even call it now, it's been several years now after the release that One Piece now usually takes about one break every so often. It doesn't pass a month and a half where One Piece is getting a break. So One Piece gets very frequent breaks. It seems as though Jump is trying to give that luxury to some of the other authors in the magazine as well. My Hero, Jujutsu Kaisen, because dudes will break down. We've seen what happened notoriously to Yoshihiro Togashi from Hunter x Hunter. But it says here, One Piece began publication in 97 and has now surpassed 1,000 chapters. There is a lot for fans to celebrate, but according to website Maijitsu, some manga readers in Japan are not happy about how things are going. Maijitsu reports that a segment of fans in Japan are not only annoyed by the pacing of the current Wano Country arc, which began in 2018. God damn, we're 4 years into this. But also by the manga going on hiatus. That last complaint is rather silly, if not selfish. But to be honest, considering how hard manga creator Eiichiro Oda has worked and for how long, the guy is in a machine. He needs time to recharge and do things like sleep. 1,000,000,000% I agree with the author of this article, but let's continue. Below, via Maijitsu, are some recent complaints from Japanese One Piece readers. So right now we're about to get an exclusive here, people, of the thought process of Japanese One Piece fans and how they're feeling about Wano and about One Piece these days. It says here, for starters, the first one was, One Piece going on hiatus is no good. So people are upset about the hiatus. They want Oda to drive himself into the ground. Understood. One Piece, as of late, has been going on hiatus a bunch. Plus, the story development has been sloppy. It's definitely been going on hiatus a bunch, and the story hasn't been the most, I guess, solid in every aspect as it's been in maybe past arcs. I'd give it that. The most recent Shonen Jump was pretty interesting, but One Piece, you're taking too much time off. Remember that the Japanese, they also frown on stuff like that. They're very hard workers. They really love to get their shit done. They make sure it's a part of their culture to work and get shit done. So for them, Oda, you're taking how many breaks? They don't care. Their work obsession is very different. One Piece going on too many breaks. It's like every other freaking week. I added the freaking, but yeah, again, it seems a lot of people are, the last one says, don't take the week off because the story isn't going well. Holy shit. They basically say, yo, your shit is trash. Stop. Wow. As noted on Maijitsu, the problem could be with the pacing of the Wano Country arc, which is said to be dragging on and losing the interest of fans. This, in turn, impacts the anime, and it becomes harder to win over new readers. Absolutely. And I'm not gonna lie, just reading some of that shit made my brain hurt, because bottom line, that has to be younger kids or people that don't understand the process of creating manga. The fact that Eiichiro Oda works 21 hours in a day. Like, no, absolutely, you guys are all wrong. He needs his breaks, period. And I'm going to stand on that. I don't care. Like, that right there is selfish, childish, and lacking of an understanding. Like, what do they think that, like, Oda, he takes like 3 hours out of the week and writes One Piece? This is a ongoing process, day in and day out. Oda has been on record saying to any staff member that is joining up to create his masterpiece, One Piece, you got to be willing to die for it. You got to be willing to die for it. So if this man is willing to die for his comic, how dare you say that he's taking too many breaks? How dare you criticize him in that fashion when it's just unjust? Criticism? Absolutely. Maybe you are a little bit frustrated. Maybe One Piece is taking too many breaks, but it's necessary for the grand scheme of things. You want your ending? You want them to get to Laugh Tale? You want Luffy to become Pirate King and get One Piece? Give him his breaks. Now, the story of Wano itself, that's a different tale. Criticism, feel free. There are a lot of things that you can nitpick, and there's a lot of things that you could look through and say, well, this didn't add up. Okay, maybe the fights, maybe the fake outs is pissing you off. So absolutely. But in terms of the hiatuses and the breaks, knock it off. Knock it off. Eiichiro Oda is a human freaking being, and he deserves breaks. He's been doing this since 97. Knock it off. I'm sorry I had to get stern like that, but it's just a reality, and I don't like fans having that type of mindset when people are breaking their bodies, their mind, body, and soul for your entertainment. Be a little bit more reasonable. Be a little bit more gracious with how you treat creators in the future. Okay, so I just wanted to touch up on this one very brief. I don't want to stay on this one too long because I don't want to give the attention, I guess, this one is obviously seeming to look for. Now, in case you don't know, a few years back, around 2018, 2019, probably beginning of 2019, end of 2018, there was a big scandal where the longtime voice of Broly from Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, he also played Ed Elric in Full Metal Alchemist. Dude has been a part of a lot of stuff. Vic Mignogna, he's been a part of a lot of things in anime. Well, around early 2019, a lot of allegations came out against him, and unfortunately he was fired from the role of Broly. He's fired from working for Funimation. He hasn't been able to really go to convention. All sorts of really wild stuff has happened to this guy Vic Mignogna, and there was a whole legal case. They went to court. I believe he lost the first time, and then the pandemic hit, so he hasn't gone to court again because he filed paperwork to be able to get back in the courtroom and try again, but it hasn't happened yet, and ultimately it was a very big deal. Like, I covered it over here, got me into problems, all sorts of stuff. However, two of the people that was a part of that whole case and essentially making Vic Mignogna, ultimately taking him to where he's at right now, that you really don't even hear of Vic Mignogna at this particular point, but ultimately, I believe they go by Monica Real. She plays a lot of voices for a lot of anime, you know, in dub, and Jamie Markey. They're apparently launching a podcast about Vic Mignogna's defamation case. So is this like a one-off thing? Like, okay, I could imagine, right? Take my bias, if I even have any at this particular point, aside from this, right? Take my bias out of this. I'm going to speak strictly as if I am just giving some business advice, some marketing advice, some long-term goals, right? How do you plan on making a podcast? Because a podcast is usually that it's going to be like episodes and things like that, week in, week out, or whether it's a monthly podcast or whatnot. How are you going to make an ongoing airing podcast about a case that, you know what I'm saying, it happened, it erupted or whatnot? I could see a long episode. I could see even a 2 to 3 hour crazy episode of talking about everything that happened in the case. But what are you going to do? Let's just say if it's weekly, because ideally podcasts are usually like one episode a week. If they do it monthly, I don't know, but usually it's a weekly process, right? So are you going to go week 1, episode 1? We met Vic. Week 2, episode 2. We went to a convention back in 2004 with Vic. Like, how is that going to work? Are you going to just base the whole model of this podcast on a man that has been destroyed? I keep it a buck with you. It sounds like a bad idea. It sounds like you should just leave that alone. If it was something like you're going to sell the rights to your story, your involvement in one of the biggest anime voice acting scandals in recent times, you're gonna make like a little mini documentary or film, I'd see that being more feasible. I'd see maybe her support or their supporters coming out and saying, oh yeah, we're gonna watch this. But a podcast based on Vic Mignogna, I mean, maybe if that's like the pilot episode, hey, let's get all the cobwebs out now, we're gonna talk about this, and then we're gonna move forward, and then in every episode following, we're gonna talk about, hey, so the business of voice acting, hey, so going to anime conventions, hey, so this, that, and the third. But if the whole podcast is about, hey, listen, how we destroyed a man and hit him with all sorts of accusations and shit like that, and no. And I want to stay far away from this story just because there's so much toxicity surrounding every which way. But I will say that in terms of ideas, that's a stinker. Like, make a podcast about voice acting. A lot of people aspire and would love to know the ins and outs, or maybe certain directors, and, you know, have them on as guests and what their thoughts were when they had you, you know, they were directing you in this role. Those are some good ideas. Talking about a case about a man that was accused of sexual crimes and all sorts of stuff like that doesn't sound like the greatest podcast. I mean, then again, what do I know, right? You know, I've never made a successful show in my life. I've never had over almost 500 million views in my life, right? But yeah, that's the case with what's going on over there. I will give you guys an update whenever there's any updates regarding the second trial or whatever is going to happen in the future, if it does, regarding the Vic Mignogna case. But as it stands right now, apparently 2 of the people that were involved in it are doing a podcast about it. Next up, it's a smaller story, but I did want to cover it because I am a massive, massive, massive fan of Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic. I've told this story many times. I named my daughter after one of the main female characters of Magi, Morgiana. Like, I love Magi, so I naturally really enjoyed the author Shinobu Otaka. I used to go and translate her website because she had like a blog where she would update and give insight. I used to go and translate her blog so that I could know what the hell she's planning on her next show. I was really deep on Magi. I'll never forget, I made like a 30-minute video talking about 4 fucking pages of dialogue. Like, that's how deep it goes with me with Magi. So naturally, when it was like, oh, she started a new series, Orient, and then, you know, you follow all the news, and it's like, oh, they put it in Besatsu. Now that Attack on Titan's over, they're gonna probably push a lot of muscle behind it. Oh, we got an anime coming out. Go watch my first impression video of Orient if you want to know what I think about it. In a nutshell, disappointing as hell. Very disappointing as an adaptation. Source material wise might be a different story. And in case anybody's feeling like, like, yo, FORNEVER's talking air out of his ass. Like, no, I tried. I'm still trying with Orient, okay? I got the first 3 volumes of the manga, so I'm not just like here bashing Shinobu Otaka's new. No, it's just genuinely facts. Like, it really wasn't all that good. However, the latest volume, which I got the first 3, I think over here in the States we might have 6 or 7, and over there in Japan right now they just dropped volume 14. Mind you, they have an anime currently on air. There's like what, 6-7 episodes or something like that of Orient, and in its first week after having an anime on air, volume 14 of Orient did 23,611 copies. While that's not terrible, and in the United States that's actually very successful, in Japan, for an anime on air, similar to, I throw the argument maybe even, no, it's definitely way worse with Orient, similar to like Eden Zero, because Eden Zero, I want to say, has around those type of sales, and it has a successful anime on Netflix. That's the difference between Orient and Eden Zero, that as an anime, Eden Zero is on Netflix, and people really are rocking with it, and it has a cult following, got a video game coming out. I'm not seeing almost no love for Orient, and then on top of that, the manga isn't selling great. On top of that, the anime isn't great. It's just like, wow, I ain't even gonna lie, I'm almost to the point where I'm gonna keep following, right? I'm begrudgingly watching the anime. There's a few episodes that I'm starting to get a little warmed up to when it comes to the anime and whatnot, but still, it feels like almost, maybe I should just check out until Shinobu Otaka's next work. Because just because I'm a fan of her work, and I'm a fan of her art, that doesn't mean that I gotta stick around while the castle is on fire or some shit like that. And that's the way I kind of feel about Orient. I'm kind of sort of quasi enjoying it to a weird way, but I'm supposed to be like, either I like it or I don't. Not that I almost feel like I'm pushing myself, like, man, you gotta like it as Shinobu Otaka, and that's not the way. And especially if the sales are 23,000, you got an anime on TV right now. Like, these shits should have at the very least gone to 50, 75, 100. That means it's a failure in my opinion. Like, again, there's a difference. Eden Zero got a lot of money behind it. Netflix, video game, all sorts of stuff. This don't got shit, okay? So, we'll see what happens. I'm not here to bash Orient. I love Shinobu Otaka. I love Magi. It just looks like Orient is dead in the water, and no matter what they've done, putting it in Besatsu Shonen, giving it an anime, all of this stuff, it's not really doing anything. But we'll wait and see. Maybe in another volume or 2, there'll be a big episode. The episode 19 effect, like what happened with Demon Slayer, will happen with Orient, and it'll take... That's probably not going to happen. Moving forward, I got 3 different series I want to take a look at their sales. So I'm going to do it in one big one right here. We're going to go back to back. We got 3 pretty notable series. I guess for starters, let's take a look at World Trigger. World Trigger by Yellowstone over on Twitter. Shoutouts to them. For starters, he said, it stayed pretty consistent between volumes 12 and 22. Then the anime returned and boosted sales. We'll have to wait to see if the sales can continue to rise following the recent airing of the anime's 3rd season. And this is why World Trigger sticks around, despite the fact that in the West, at the very least, World Trigger isn't the biggest Goliath. People aren't really all that into it. You see, Volume 1, for whatever reason, has no data. Was that pre? Or maybe? I don't know. Volume 1, there's no data, but you go Volume 2, Volume 3. Every freaking volume has sold more than the last. Literally, the only dips were between 16 and 18, and then oh yeah, okay, and it dropped from 21, but then it went right back. And Volume 24, the latest volume as of this chart, is the biggest selling volume. Like, yeah, World Trigger ain't ending anytime soon. By the grace of God, this series has been able to obtain a cult following because the author has had some serious health issues. He broke his wrist back in, like, I don't know, a few years back, and ever since then, it's been reoccurring health issues. So the fact that he's doing this, that's a blessing to that man. Shoutouts to the author of World Trigger, because without those fans, this shit would have been long gone, and his career would have been donezo. But yeah, like, even with the latest volume, it's still at peak position. Let's move over to D. Gray Man, another series that has suffered from an author's health issues. Not the usual chart because there is only data on the second half. Thanks to print data, we can have an idea of the huge success that it was from the start. Impressive how it maintained itself over so many years despite having so many hiatuses. And yeah, as you can see with D. Gray Man, very, very wild, but still very good. Like, look at those sales early on. Volume 3 jumping into over 600,000. Like, this was insane for this, and this is talking about the second half, but you can definitely see, I mean, first of all, it's been announced that it was headed towards its climax, and you can see with, like, the latest volume 27, it is headed towards infancy. I always say that we're going to keep that as a staple here whenever we talk about sales. when it heads towards infancy in terms of sales, and what I mean by that is like the earlier volume sales numbers and whatnot, when it heads that direction, it means it's about to end. D Gray Man, they announced climax. Look at sales over the years. It's headed towards how it started, so they're going to probably end it. I don't know how regular the releases have been as of late, but next 2 to 3 years I could imagine, and that's because, again, D Gray Man doesn't really release frequently at all. But yeah, it's still fascinating with D Gray Man. And then lastly, I've been holding on to this one for a little bit. Shout outs to Yellowstone again. Record of Ragnarok, aka Shumatsu no Valkyrie, for 12 volumes, and it's just been astronomical. It's been astronomical. Let's see, did the anime do? The anime was announced on 9, anime came out on 11, and sales dropped by 12. Oh no, the Record of Ragnarok manga sales kind of took a little bit of a hit from the anime. The anime ain't do shit. Whatever. I still had a fun time with the anime. And yeah, you can see the manga sales straight off of quality. Straight off people loving those epic battles with these godlike creatures. Shout outs to Record of Ragnarok. Dope sales chart as well. Just up and away. And then the anime came and got in the way. Okay, people. And last story of this episode. I've been avoiding the last year or two, I think, of really trying to cover this on Forever News because I just think it's so shitty. And why? But apparently, according to this, it says no anime films were nominated for the Oscars, but Japanese film Drive My Car received multiple nominations. So the only thing coming out of Japan that got nominations is, I'm guessing, a live action film called Drive My Car, because no anime films were nominated for Oscars. And I believe they did this the same thing last year, and their reasoning behind not having Demon Slayer Mugen Train was, what was it? Oh, that it's attached to a series and you need to have seen the series. They don't do that. They only do that for singular films that they nominate for the Oscar. It's really stupid, and there's plenty of anime. Like, anime's tearing up the charts, but you know how they go. They throw up a bunch of roadblocks, like, oh, you're not gonna get these Oscars because Oscars mean more prestige, means more money, means they can run the bag up more. Like, yo, Toonami already can't afford Demon Slayer Season 2 because Mugen Train did so well, and that's without the Oscar. Can you imagine what type of price they would have been asking for if they got the Oscar? Yeah, so the Oscars ain't playing fair. Similar to, like, come on, we go through this all the time, like with hip-hop with the Grammys. We just now had one of the biggest hip-hop sessions ever for the freaking Super Bowl with Dr. Dre and Eminem and fucking 50 Cent and Kendrick and all that shit. So we still got a ways to go, and these companies are still gonna play hardball, so to speak, in terms of getting where we're trying to go. But yeah, no anime were nominated for the Oscars, despite that last few years have just been insane for anime films. I don't get it, man. I don't want to say fuck the Oscars, but yeah, it's kind of on that vibe, lad. Like, what? And I believe those were the 94th Oscars too. So yeah, maybe we'll get them next year. Tiger, huh? Maybe Jujutsu Kaisen 0 will really crush. Oh wait, because it's, well, Jujutsu Kaisen 0 is a technical one that they could actually roll with and get at the Oscar, because technically, even in Japan, Jujutsu Kaisen 0 is technically not Jujutsu Kaisen. It's the Tokyo Metropolitan some bullshit. It has a different name. So technically, they would really be robbing Jujutsu Kaisen 0 if they say that, because it's also a prequel. So it's not even, you don't need to watch or nothing. It's just called Jujutsu Kaisen 0 for marketing purposes. Technically, it's Tokyo whatever the fuck. But we gotta wait and see. Y'all probably like, oh, snap, what's going on here? A special episode of Forever News I wanted to bring to you guys today. We're going to be talking about the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. With me, I have the notoriously just unstoppable Plot Armor. You guys want to introduce yourself? Please do.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? We're Plot Armor. We make videos on anime and manga all the time, nearly every day, as much as we can. Always grinding, trying our best, and we're very happy to be here, back on the channel over here.
Yeah, just putting our best foot forward, you know, that shonen mentality. Nice to be here on Forever News.
You already know. Now, some of y'all may remember these gentlemen. We did the best manga of 2021. Big event, legendary event, honestly. One of the most fun times I've had creating content in quite some time. So I wanted to bring the guys back on again and see what's going on here with this time around Crunchyroll's Anime Awards and see if they got it right. I've heard some murmurings. It's never a happy thing when these awards shows go down. There's always going to be somebody, no, that should happen. But I guess we'll give our 2 cents on whether or not they got it right with each of the categories. We're going to skip out on like the multiple language ones. We're not going to do like Russian VAs and stuff like that, because that's just not, you know, in our wheelhouse. So we will be skipping out on that, minus like English and Japanese, since that's something that we can't touch up on Shonen. I don't want to waste any more of these guys' time. Do you guys want to jump right into it?
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're gonna start off first with best VA performance in English. Now, I'm not the biggest dub guy. I know a name or two here or there, so that's mainly going to be my perspective because I don't really watch dub. What about you guys?
I have not touched a dub anime in a very long time.
I'm mostly into sub, like probably most people watching this video, but I will sometimes touch dub if I'm trying to like multitask, you know.
Yeah, no, I feel it. I mean, dubbing, like I like it. Like he said, multitasking. Like I can do 100,000 things and just hear the audio. Where unfortunately, I'm not fluent in Japanese, so it'll be a bit of a struggle. But let's see. It says here, best VA performance in English was David Wald, who did Ainosuke Shindo Adam from Skate the Affinity. I didn't even watch that anime. Did either of you?
No.
No, we didn't want to skate the infinity.
Oh snap. Okay. Well, David beat out a couple of big contenders. I know Laura Bailey from Fruits Basket. She's big.
Same here.
Adam MacArthur, who did Yuji Tadori. Wow, he took out some big names. Okay, so we can't give too much insight on this one because we're not familiar. But well, let's see. Switching languages. Let's jump over to. We're looking at best VA in English. Let's see Japanese. That's the only other one that I believe either of us gentlemen are familiar with. This one. Whoa. Okay. We got best VA performance. Japanese winner is Yuki Kaji for Eren Yeager, Attack on Titan final season part 1. This is a bag I think all of us can get into.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Performance like crazy. There's so much fire behind the voice of this guy.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Like I've been sleeping on Attack on Titan. I don't want to dive into the tumultuous fucking relationship that I have with this series, but I will say that there is no doubt in my mind that Eren Yeager, the voice actor, has put 1,000% to the point where I just reported here on FORNEVERNEWS like 2 days ago that he lost his voice in the booth with the latest episode.
Wow.
Like that's passion, to lose your voice screaming and all that stuff. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's amazing how they've been able to pull off Attack on Titan post the first 3 seasons, because it's essentially almost a different show. It's like a war story now opposed to
The season 4 is so different from the rest of the series. It's like a whole different thing now. And Slice, didn't something like that happen with the Broly VA? I feel like you told me that mad years ago.
Oh yeah, just like going crazy, losing your voice, just putting so much into the role. That was the Vic Mignogna, the English voice actor, I believe. The thing about this is like I'm fully into Eren winning here, Yuki. However, I don't know if the competition is exactly like the craziest, most standout performances that like everyone is talking about. Like Gabi's up there. I don't know if you're gonna compete with Eren in that category.
I will say that I'm glad that Eren did beat Gabby, because like I'm sorry, I can't from the grave. I can't disrespect our shorty like that. So Gabby, you had to take the L. I don't care. I'm sorry. No. Oh snap. No, that's just being petty. But yeah, looking at the competition, like I never got into Odd Taxi. That's one that I do plan on getting into, but I've heard great things, but I don't know if it's greater than Eren Yeager's scream insanity of what he did in that first half of the final season.
I think it comes down to like the circumstance. This is a suspenseful series. This is a series where we don't know what's going on in Eren's head. So like every word that's coming out of his mouth is going to be like the most impactful thing ever for the entirety of that series, which is like one of the biggest series in the world. And then you have these other things where
other things
not even to be disrespectful, but they're just not even in the same stratosphere as Attack on Titan in terms of popularity, so they lose out on that. And then just in terms of the performances, some of these characters aren't like the biggest names comparatively right now.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if there's nothing else to say, I'll say that I'm satisfied, more than satisfied with Yuki winning this one. I think it's deserved.
Even beyond this competition, I can't even think of another performance that year that stuck out like Eren. So
this was last year. Yeah. I don't know if it competes with Eren or anything, or Yuki, but I thought the VA for Bakugo had a great performance in season 5 as well, though. If you remember the 1A 1B, he had some very good delivery in that tournament.
Fair enough.
I'll no comment that because I was not a fan of that season, so I'll leave that as a no comment.
It was the very beginning when we were all optimistic.
Yeah, we still had hope back then.
It was you should check it out at least that fight on YouTube or something.
Yeah.
I mean, Bakugo's VA is always like
He's
bringing
always
that
on
energy.
10 though. He
Yeah,
always
yeah.
brings that energy that
For sure.
Let's move on then. Best film. Winner of best film is Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the movie Mugen Train. And again, I personally like, I'm looking at the list right now of what it was up against. There's only one other title I would have said might have been able to take the throne with Evangelion, but Demon Slayer winning, I mean, that's a no-brainer. It's one of the most successful, isn't it the most successful Japanese film of all time or something crazy like that?
I believe
Yeah,
so.
it literally like held up the economy or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So accolades, the performance in general, that was just a really freaking great movie too. Like, take all of that aside, I don't want to shit on the artistic side of it. It was pretty freaking awesome.
Ufotable has done the damn job when it came to this movie, the series, period. Like, they've brought and elevated the series to a whole new world.
Not just the series, anime in general.
Yeah, truly.
I think they changed the way things are gonna be for the next 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, that movie set a precedent. Like, this category is gonna be crazy in the years to come just because of the precedent that's been set by this film.
It's so wild. I feel like the market is starting to shrink more in terms of like the studios that people really talk about. Like back in the day, people used to talk about like 5 or 10 different studios.
Yeah.
Now it's like Ufotable, Mappa,
Mappa.
and hey, there's some other
Madhouse.
shit happening.
You put him Madhouse, right?
Madhouse, not as much as they used to, because a lot of Madhouse employees went over to Mappa. It got co-founded by some of the people from former Madhouse employees. So people that probably worked on Hunter x Hunter, Parasite, all of those big titles, they ran over to Mappa.
Yeah,
You're right for sure though. It used to be so many studios we talked about. Now it's max 3. You know,
exactly.
We don't care.
We'll look forward to like something from Studio Trigger or whatever, one of their original series and things
Those
like that.
wacky things, yeah.
But that's like that's a one-off. That's the small thing. Mappa's taking over every like major title right now.
Quick thing on Trigger, agree or disagree? I feel like Trigger has become kind of like a niche in itself within anime. It's like a genre. Trigger is like a whole genre of anime. I feel like
I
It's so unique.
agree. I think it's like a Ghibli movie kind of
Yeah.
thing, but just like as a series.
They have their own little niche genre thing.
Look at the creativity and where it comes from, because Studio Trigger, they're actually similar to what's happening with Mappa coming from Madhouse. They were originally Studio Gainax, and they did Gurren Lagann, and then they took all those talented people that did the wackiness of Gurren Lagann, and then they went to Trigger and they made Kill la Kill, and then they just keep on with it's interesting to see where it all stems from and how it keeps on. Like, this studio does something crazy, then a bunch of people within it like, okay, we're gonna do our own thing, and then they go on and do something crazy.
Are you a Trigger fan?
I mean, I can't off the top of my head list a whole bunch of series from them, but what they did with Kill la Kill and just in general what they stand for and what they've been doing of an independent route of, breaking away from Gainax, I've always respected what they've done, and its wackiness is creative to me. I love it.
And I mean, if we look at the studios that are on this list for these films, I mean, the only one that kind of sticks out to me would be Bones. But it's been a while since I've thought of Studio Bones.
Yeah, I gotta pull out a magnifying glass on Bones. Like, what y'all been doing
Since we're on
lately?
the topic of anime films, Demon Slayer is getting an announcement in the next week. Do you think it's gonna be film 2 or season 3?
I guess where's the manga at right now? Is there enough where they could do like the Mugen Train was like, oh wow, that's kind of perfect to just put into a movie.
The swords, what's it called?
Swordsmith Village.
Swordsmith Village.
Yeah.
Do you think that could be compacted all the way straight into a movie, or?
Yeah,
I think
especially
so.
the ending would be great for the movie.
Yeah.
You know the ending.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
No,
say
no
it, but
spoilers
the
yet. No
course
spoilers.
I'm not. But the ending would be great for a movie, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it could have a similar impact to how Mugen Train was, because Mugen Train, action-packed, also emotional, just everything that is Demon Slayer could definitely be compounded into a movie. It could go either way, truly. I think that because of how well Mugen Train did, they're going to be inclined to want to do another movie, because at the end of the day, they still repackaged Mugen Train for television afterwards. So it doesn't make a difference to them as a studio.
And we know that Kondo is making sure those cafes are bringing in that money so he can put in his safe in his home. Alrighty, well, let's move on to the shits and giggles. Best comedy winner. And that is an anime that I actually just started not that long ago. Komi Can't Communicate won best comedy, and it beat out some decent contenders. I mean, I was a big fan of Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. I'm shocked that it beat that
I'm
out.
surprised I didn't win. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't win.
Yeah.
That had a lot of buzz, a lot of hype, a lot of controversy back and
Controversy.
forth. Like,
Was
holy
that like
crap.
earlier in the year?
Yeah, I want to say that
Maybe a
was
recency thing.
Yeah,
probably
I think
spring.
it might be a recency thing.
Could be, yeah. Now that you say that, because don't tell me must not. I don't know. That I know I was shocked because I thought I was gonna watch maybe one episode, see what the hubble bubble was about, and keep on moving. And then I'm like, oh shit, it's the season finale. No, so
Yeah, I know that Horikoshi was a fan of Komi.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yep. He did like that. I remember him mentioning it in one of the author comments, I think.
It's surprisingly really popular. I've come to realize.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. It's on Netflix. You know, it's the accessibility is there for general audience members and people like that. The other contenders, we got Odd Taxi. I feel like it may very well be a great series and stuff, but it's a little bit harder to get into for your average anime enjoyer or just casual viewer because of, you know, these are anthropomorphic animals going into a cab. You know, it doesn't have that same allure or appeal.
Let's not forget Agresco though.
Fair enough, but I think that you know, that's a Sanrio character, so it's the same appeal as Hello Kitty, which is just massive.
I want to say they excluded Agretzko from this one because of how it came out or when it came out or something like that. I remember reading like because that probably would have been here in the categories, but they excluded it because of its release date or something like that.
See, that would have been probably a better competitor. Well, not a better, but like a sizable competitor because of, again, impact it already has had. People are familiar with it, longing for it. It's on Netflix, so it'd probably been a pretty powerful addition to this.
I would have preferred Miss Nagatoro because so far from what I've seen of Komi Can Communicate, it's all right. I'm enjoying it, but boy, did Miss Nagatoro make me fucking bust out laughing so many times.
Recency bias, I feel. That's probably the best thing.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it because it kind of feels that way. Like, man, I don't know. But okay, let's mosey on over to Best Fantasy. And the winner of that is by Studio 8-Bit. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Season 2. And that's Best Fantasy. Wow. That's another one that I've been sleeping on because like I watched majority of every other contender because this was a packed house. I have Wonder Egg Priority, To Your Eternity, the case study of Vanitas, the Slime series, Ranking of Kings, and Mushoku Tensei. I would have put Ranking of Kings or Mushoku Tensei easily. This would not have been, again, I'm not caught up or I'm not into the Slime series right now. I'm planning on it. But yeah, Ranking of Kings is just godlike. I don't know.
I think that this is definitely a case of just popularity. That's what it has to be. The fantasy genre in anime is one of the most packed things you can find. I mean, there's an isekai every week, isn't there? So to have Slime up there is pretty
I think
surprising to an extent.
Slime has one thing going for it though. One big thing. It's marketability.
Mhm.
That main character, Rimuru, it's powerful.
Yeah.
I think that's something it has over a lot of other potentially better fantasy anime.
I might be even speaking with recency bias because to be honest with you, To Your Eternity, which came out around the same time as Nagatoro, I probably would even put over Ranking of Kings because that shit had me bawling, crying every freaking week.
Yeah, I mean, everyone that's ever talked to me about the series has talked about how emotional they get watching it. You know, you would think that it'd be an impact kind of thing, but ultimately this is a open voting situation. It's not like there are like a panel of judges or anything, so it's less of a quality thing and more just popularity. And Slime is, when it's on Crunchyroll, it's plastered everywhere. I mean, I'm pretty sure my icon on Crunchyroll is of Rimuru. So he's everywhere.
Yeah, wow. I'd imagine if it was like a certain section, they would probably, because all I heard was how a masterclass Mushoku Tensei is for the isekai genre. So I'm shocked that didn't even take it because the fandom was ridiculous while that was running.
You know what it is? Also, I think the isekai lovers are a smaller sect. Like, they probably go with Mushoku Tensei, but then the grander expanse of just general fans probably elevated Slime over it.
It's like, and I don't know if y'all will agree with me, but it's like putting in a popularity vote Yu Yu Hakusho or Dragon Ball Z. The real ones know what's good, but Dragon Ball Z is gonna win.
Yeah, easily that. Yeah, exactly that.
Oh man, but yeah, I don't know. I can't rock with that. I'm sorry. Like, there's too many really like 10 out of 10 type of shit here to give it to the Slime series. Again, I'm not caught up on the Slime series, and I'm not hating on Slime. Congratulations. It just wouldn't be me.
Slime is easy, it's digestible, it's simple content, you know, comparatively, I mean.
Mainstream appeal.
Yeah, so it just has that mainstream appeal to it.
Fair enough. Let's move on to best action winner. And the best action winner from Studio Mappa, surprise, surprise, Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2, and it beat out very, very tough contenders. Attack on Titan Part 1 final season, Demon Slayer, the Mugen Train, which that's movie quality that they just, you know, put in a TV rendition. I'm not sure what the hell is the SSSS Dyna Xenon. Are either of you familiar with that?
Is it in the Gridman series? SSS was.
It's by Trigger.
Yeah, it's by Trigger.
Because SSS was Gridman.
So what, is that like a spin-off of another series, or?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Essentially.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
okay.
imagine Gundam. Did
Yeah, because it literally has subtitle Gridman Universe.
Yeah, so it's like a Gundam type thing where there's like, you know.
Oh, different things in the same in a universe.
I guess it just didn't. This one didn't get into our purview because Gridman, the first one, had like you know, everyone talking because of especially the female characters.
Fan service.
Yeah, definitely the fan service there.
Bit Studio put their foot in it when it came to Vivi. Either you watch Vivi Fluorite Eyes song.
I never watched it, but I feel like I might have seen a shot or two.
That looked absolutely. I mean, I guess this is for action, so I can't really. But Vivi aesthetically was just, oh my god, especially the detail in the eyes. Like, we give Jujutsu Kaisen the eye detail, like, oh my god, look at Gojo's eyes, so detailed. No, the Vivi, and I know I'm giving props like the eye detail, but holy shit, fluoride eyes, they really made sure they put it in the eyes. It was
I'm seeing it. Just a little quick look on Google.
It was something else, man. So
action though.
Yeah, action. I gotta stay on that because like that's a different thing. Wonder Egg Priority, no, like it was a really awesome show, but well, towards the end, no, not action. Vivi, again, I don't know about action. I'm very unfamiliar with Dyna Xenon, so I don't know. Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2 had incredible action. Mugen Train had oh my god, the choreography. Sometimes I look at it and I'm like, damn, it almost feels like they reenact some or tried to reenact some of the shit with humans and then just redo it or something. It looked so wow.
I think that this one is a fair winner for sure, because for as good as Attack on Titan is, how much we enjoy it, you know, right now especially, it's the story and all that we're really looking forward to, not exactly the Titan, you know, back and forth all
like
too
Levi
much.
versus the Beast, like that was season 3.
Well, that's an exception, but that was amazing.
You see, yeah, that's at those times for sure. Like, I'm not even discrediting Attack on Titan's action and stuff, but just like comparatively to JJK, I mean, we have so many hand-to-hand brawls and stuff. It's a lot of just good stuff. Especially the ending of that season was very well choreographed.
JJK is like traditional. It's a battle manga. You know what I mean? It's just, we're squaring up. Attack on Titan has action, but I don't feel like it's exactly a battle manga.
And Mappa put their foot into it.
And then a lot of like when it comes to the Demon Slayer action part, a lot of that was motherfuckers on a train trying to figure out what's going on, dream sequences.
The length of that was that.
Yeah. So yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen definitely got it fairly. This was fair and square. So
agreed.
Big ups to JJK taking the action as it should. I mean, that's Mappa's specialty at this point, right? Let's move on. Best drama. Okay, and I don't know what else is in the category yet, but To Your Eternity winning best drama. I'm here for it. It was very dramatic. It beat out 86. I heard a lot of hubbub about that. It beat out Fruits Basket. Wow. Kageki Shoujo, Taxi, and Wonder Egg Priority. Yo, Wonder Egg Priority gets nominated so many times.
Yeah, I noticed.
It keeps taking L's left and right. I'm 150% on board with this victory. Like, I think they got it right with this one.
Makes sense to me. Like I said, people just keep crying watching this. I mean, that's one of the most impactful emotional outbursts you can have. So definitely makes sense to me.
Yeah, didn't watch it, but throughout the year, everyone was talking about it, like in our community on Discord or in like community polls on YouTube.
Fairs. The best romance, I really didn't watch. Did either of you watch like romance? Do you really want to break down the best romance? I don't know.
I don't think I have the credentials for this one.
I'm not.
Yeah.
At least not this year's. So.
We too manly in this bitch. We're moving on. All right.
I will just drop in the fact I'm surprised that B-Star is like I'm pretty sure they have like a strong backbone of fans. I'm surprised they didn't like beat out anything in their way.
Wait, Horimiya won? Oh, okay. That's a shocker. I probably would have given it to Don't Toy With Me or Fruits Basket, but wow. What do you mean?
I mean, a Fruits Basket has a pretty strong fan base too.
Because Fruits Basket been around, and I know I said we wasn't gonna go into the romance shit, but Fruits Basket been around for a minute. Like that was the OG shoujo romance series that all the girls got into like anime and manga back in the day. So
Yeah,
that's a
very
shock.
classic.
Okay, let's go to best fight scene winner. Best fight scene winner, Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2, Yuji Itadori and Aoi Todo versus Hanami, and I can't get mad at that one either. I can't. No, wait a minute. I'm mad.
Yeah, I am mad.
I'm mad. Hold up.
Very mad.
Yo, how they gonna do my no, Naruto should have won that.
Naruto versus Ishiki
No.
should have won.
No. I'm
Absolutely.
on JJK's side of this one. We
Oh,
have a disagreement here because
No.
I'm JJK with-
Though.
I watched that fight again today. Mappa is insane. They have the water looking like it's in a movie. Like, man, and the choreography, the clapping with Toto. Nah, that fight got it.
I don't know.
Naruto
fam.
boxing was too.
Naruto boxing, and on top of that, taking dude's life with every blow, and it just felt like okay, I'll give you the difference of what I felt and what I think majority of people would feel watching that fight with Naruto versus Ishiki and the fight with Yuji and Toto. Yuji and Toto fight, it feels like it's in the grand scheme of things. It feels like, okay, this is going to lead to something else. Even when I read it back in the day, when I watched it, I never thought like, damn, yo, Yuji's gonna die in this one, fam. Like I never had any of those feelings. With the Naruto versus Ishiki fight, every step of the way I thought, oh my god, is Naruto gonna die here? Is this gonna be the moment?
Yeah, there's more depth to
If
it.
we're talking that, if we're considering things like the depth of the fight, the stakes, yes. But if we're just talking choreography and just how it looks, the hype, I give it to JJK. But if we're taking
Naruto came down like a
I don't
meteorite.
even know about the hype because I think people lost their minds when like Gojo was doing his thing, with that whole situation. And it was definitely, it's JJK. It's exciting just seeing anything. But the impact of that Naruto fight.
the choreography in that JJK fight, though, man.
I'll give it to you on that, but like I think that it wasn't all right. The choreography with JJK was like up here. Naruto, I'll say maybe around here or something like that. But it makes up for it with everything else that is so much more elevated and above this fight. And also, I'll say JJK had 2 nominations on this one category.
To Boruto.
Come on, man.
Wow, I didn't even realize. Yeah, Yuji and Nobara, and then Yuji and what the? Oh, okay, that's cheating.
Yeah.
God damn it.
You had to win.
Nah, no, I'm giving it to Naruto. I'm sorry, I disagree
I'm
with
not
this
mad
one.
at it though, but I do like the JJK fight a lot.
Like this was the only nomination that Boruto got out of having like one of the best years the entire franchise has had in forever. So yeah, I respect it though, absolutely, because that was an amazing bout, Yuji and Toto. Like I respect that. That's what you're rocking with, and that's
It was one of the like better combination fights, like 2-on-1 or anything like that in a while.
had a lot of
Last thing
people
I could think
screaming
of was from
Mappa.
Boruto.
Not mad at you guys for liking Boruto over it. I think the stakes were much higher and emotions.
We also had Eren versus Warhammer Titan. I mean, that was no. I think it lacks the depth to an extent just because we just met the Warhammer. Don't really, it's not that crazy. The visuals, it's not competing. Yeah.
People were still complaining at that time too about the CG. There was still
True.
it was a dope fight, but nowhere near on the level of.
I think it like had more shock value than the Yuji and Toto, but that's about it.
I guess if you're anime only too for Attack on Titan, the fact that we really just brought in this new Titan just to have them pop like that, it was like, dang.
Yeah, it's never so impactful when you don't have enough time with a character involved in a fight. It's kind of
there's also that surprise
factor.
Yeah. That it's like, wow, we're really doing this.
Mhm.
Really got popped.
Yeah.
Bringing me back, Attack on Titan had some amazing moments. All right, let's skedaddle on down to best antagonist winner. Wow, Attack on Titan clearing house. Eren
Yeah,
Yeager.
of course.
This one was controversial.
Very
Yes,
controversial.
yes. Well, let's just quickly look. Okay, so the nominees were Eren Yeager, Shigaraki Tomoda for season 5, Yano from Odd Taxi, Echidna from ReZero, Inosuke Shindo, and Kisaki from Tokyo Revengers. Easily, if there was going to be anybody else besides Eren, I would probably go with Kisaki because that dude was
Really?
yeah. I would go like Echidna was dope. I'm not familiar with Yano, Shindo, and And Shigaraki, if it was the manga, like 1-to-1,
Oh my
The manga
god.
version of
I give that like, yo, it's Tomoda all day. But yeah, I would probably give it a Kisaki if it wasn't. But then again, which I'm sure that's what you were referring to when you said that this was controversial, because him being in this role to begin with,
Yeah.
that's
that's the controversy.
Yeah.
that's a bit of morality right there. Like, well, if you look at his morals of what he was trying to do you really say yada yada? What did
And
you
even how
guys
he's
say?
poised in this series, you know, it's like he can be considered a protagonist despite him
He was in
being
both categories.
what?
He was protagonist and antagonist.
Yeah, he was nominated in both
Oh,
categories.
come on.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. You can't. That's not how that works.
Pick one,
You,
bro.
you just because you're against someone else, that is you can't be both with this, bro.
Because isn't Deku technically against Shigaraki?
Yeah.
Like, he's
You
Shigaraki's
can't do that.
antagonist.
Okay, they just wanted him to win. Just say that.
Yeah.
No, and then like I don't know his intentions. He's just returning the favor. I mean, it's not that. I don't know. I don't feel he's an antagonist. I think that because he was here, like once they announced the category, I knew that he was gonna win. It was one of those like things where you could just see it because of popularity of the character right now that year and the impact.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense for him to even be in the category.
Would we put Light Yagami, if it was today, Death Note was today, would we put Light Yagami in here?
Ooh, that's an interesting
That's the
question.
same thing.
That's
That's a similar,
intact.
not
I've-
1-to-1, but very similar.
I think you can't put him in both though. I think you have to either put him in protagonist or antagonist. But I would more likely put him in protagonist because the people that are antagonizing him would be L, you know, and the police force or whatever. Just because you are doing bad things does not mean that you can't be a protagonist of your story. You are the person who is pushing forth this thing and you're setting out on this journey, whether that be good or bad morally, you know, that's what you're setting out to do. The people who oppose you are antagonizing and going against you.
It's just perspective, essentially. Like, to people that, let's just say, for whatever reason, they jumped into Attack on Titan with the time skip and whatnot, and they following Gabby's journey. They're looking at Eren, oh, he's the bad guy. But
Right.
with us, that we have these eyes of seeing that, like, yo, he was tortured and he saw his mother die right before his eyes and stuff like that. You're gonna know that, okay, there's more to him. And then when you realize his reasoning behind things, you're like, oh. And at the end of the day, it's just to get back. Like the same thing y'all did to my hometown, destroyed everything and all that. Well, here
Right.
you go. So either way,
First of
that's
all,
crazy.
Put them in both categories.
Yeah.
I think they kind of messed up there.
Because if we wanted it to break it down as just like isolating this season or this part of the season, then you could say he could be the antagonist, I guess. But at that point, who do you say is the protagonist?
Reiner.
Man, that guy,
Gabby.
But I'm not mad at him for winning. I like him. So.
because I'd say like
Well, who would you? Okay, out of that list, who would you replace him with if you decided, you know what, I want him out of here? Who would you put then?
okay, Kisaki is the devil. He's evil. But was he so present as much as everyone else? I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, that is because he wasn't really. You know that it's
fair.
his wrath, but
Yeah.
you don't really see him until towards. Yeah, okay.
And that was one of the one of the things I was wondering about. I was like, okay, I guess we're gonna just get him really much later because I don't know this guy. Like I know he's responsible in the grand scheme of things, but I'm just seeing the impact of his stuff. I'm not seeing him directly involved with it. Echidna, she's bizarre.
Yeah.
She's bizarre. Like she's just strange. So I can understand it being a little confusing. Shigaraki, despite the anime season 5 being what it was, ultimately, and this is not even bias of, you know, covering My Hero for all the time we have. We got so much from the character with this portion of the story in terms of, you know, his origins, where he's coming from, how he came to be this way, and then his deliverance of his wrath. I think I'd have to give it to Shigaraki.
And growth as a villain.
Absolutely.
If we're just looking at the actual content, what happened, Shigaraki might.
The way he broke it down, yeah. Like my bias of just how I feel.
I'm right there with you with season 5, man.
Yeah, right
I
there
think
with you.
we quit like covering it towards the end, right?
Yeah, we were making reviews weekly, but we can't do this.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, it was the villain arc looking forward to the most. Got to it, saw that they cut out like the first, like most important thing for me, and then chopped up the rest. Yeah, okay. I waited how long for this? No, I'm good.
We weren't gonna
Yeah.
complain weekly, you know?
Yeah.
Rather not talk about
I was singing this shit's praise way before. I was like, yo, I don't know. Once it hits,
Y'all not ready. You anime only?
it's
You
about
not
to
ready
get
for this?
crazy.
it. My hero becomes
Yeah,
goated.
this is the point where My Hero will never be the same. No. They ruined it. They soiled it. And I don't even know how I feel about the continuation of anime right now
Ooh.
because of that. So,
And then the
regardless,
manga's speeding up. Well, anyway, yeah, I don't want to dive too far off, but
despite how like it may have been adapted, ultimately Shigaraki, I have to give it to him.
I'm not mad about Eren. I like.
We love Eren.
We love
but,
Eren. So
but
we're mad.
you know,
shout outs to Eren Yeager. And I guess with that, since it's, two wings on the same plane, let's jump to best protagonist. And the winner of the best protagonist, thankfully, they didn't give it to both ones. It's not Eren Yeager.
I was
It
glad
is.
They changed the winner. If he won and they just didn't. They probably just rigged the voting.
Like, screw it now. We can't do
We're
this.
not doing it. We're not doing that.
It
I
was
need your bold statements on this one.
Otokawa from Odd Taxi. What? Nah,
Shocking.
dog. Nah. I don't know about Otokawa. I'm sure he's one of the greatest anime characters ever freaking written. But nah, dog. Like, alone. Okay, Eren Yeager, we just broke him down. He's a great character. Yuji was dope. I don't know if I would say he's like blew my mind as an MC or
Slice is
anything.
gonna get me canceled on this one.
Joe.
I'll say it though. I'm not gonna. I love JJK. I consider Itadori the most forgettable shonen main character. He's more bland to me than Deku. It doesn't even feel like his story. I love JJK.
I never thought about I want to say he's most bland, but he's definitely not like he's not the most we always
5 years,
go back to
not gonna-
Gojo for the hype. We don't go to the
Yeah.
MC, which
Yeah.
like in Black Clover, I'll still get hype over Asta, even though I'm really hype over Yami, but I'll still get hype. I don't really do I ever get really? I mean, there was a few moments. I guess when he gets mad and in dangerous situations, I'm a little bit hyped.
But we're not even looking forward to him. We're looking forward to
To
Sukuna.
Sukuna, yeah. Wow. No, I
Fushiguro, Sukuna, Gojo, like Nobara, like, but yeah, all those characters overshadow Yuji for me. I feel like he is really forgettable. Obviously, anything could happen in the last stretch of the story, but at this point, I feel like if it ended today, in 5 years, we would not talk about this character.
Yeah.
Ever.
wow.
He is-
That's
he is.
a bold statement.
It is
And I could
bold,
see
but-
people being pissed off, but
Yeah.
I can't really disagree. I never really thought about that.
Like, I love JJK still.
Yeah, it's a great series.
I just don't really care for this.
I think the main character, I heard him say all this and I came to the realization, you're right. Like, oh my gosh, he does
Okay, just a quick one. Yuta or Yuji?
I think Yuta is more cool. I think he has more character than Yuta has more character than.
Itadori
He comes
doesn't
across
even
as
have-
he comes across as more badass because of his links to Gojo as well. Like the
Yeah.
fact that he's second to it's like
Yeah, there's a lore to it.
Yuta, I feel like he has more. This might even be a bad thing to some people. Itadori just feels like a regular high school kid. You know what I mean? There's nothing stand out to him about, in my opinion. Yuta feels like a whole character. I could describe him. And he's not just normal dude.
There's more depth and more going on, especially when we're just talking about the anime right now. There's a lot more to recognize with that character. Itadori, he doesn't have even a signature move like that is so prolific in our minds that we think about or associate the character with. Usually that's how you establish like your main MC of a shonen series. He just doesn't.
yeah, I feel like it's gonna be like 9 o'clock at night. I'm gonna be chilling, and that's just gonna pop in my mind. I'm gonna be like, "Yo, word, he really was spitting facts right there."
I'm gonna look at the popularity poll. I'm curious.
Oh shoot! Again, hey, if the commenters are upset, I can't help it. But I can't really argue against that much because I'm never really like, yo, Yuji. I'm more like,
I want to hear
yo,
the argument.
Gojo.
I want to hear.
Yeah,
it.
I'm curious.
Tell me why you.
You're a
like,
poopy head. You don't know what you're talking about.
Tell me
Goodbye.
why you like Itadori. I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Oh shit.
I'm looking up the popularity poll.
But let's get back to the best protagonist. So Yuji and Eren, that's ridiculous. He just won, you know what I'm saying? The other one. I would easily give it to Joe. I don't know if either of you are Megalobox fans.
I watched season 1. I loved season 1. I didn't get around to season 2.
I
You're
was
doing yourself a disservice, dog.
Really?
Season 2, it takes it in a whole different direction, first of
Okay.
all. Joe is dealing with a lot of freaking demons, dog. He is dealing with some serious tough stuff throughout it. It's way darker. I just got goosebumps talking about it.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, I
I'm
swear to God.
surprised. I thought, because honestly, sometimes with a series, if I feel like content with a season 1, I won't even continue just because I don't know what more I could ask for from this.
It felt
I didn't.
complete.
Yeah, I thought it was just a one and done.
Out of
expect-
everybody here on this list, Adakawa from Odd Taxi, I don't know him, but Boji from Ranking Kings, I love Ranking Kings, and Ioto, Joe, he feels like almost a real person. Like I can show you, like, okay, boom, he tries his hardest, boom, he's dealing with this, boom, he legitimately is a fleshed out, like full-blown real character.
Wow.
And what he dealt with in that freaking season, like, I gotta give it. I feel Megalobox 2 is criminally underrated. Like they even took it in a different direction of like, okay, they went to like Mexico and they had like Mexican music and shit. They just tried something different
Wow.
and it worked through and through. And
I'm about to give it a
glad
look.
you mentioned that. With season 1, it reminded me of kind of like Bebop or Samurai Champloo and the whole aesthetic it has, like that feeling that they're really going about this artistically.
1,000,000,000%. That's literally what I used to say when I was watching season 1. Straight up, like, oh, it got like older aesthetic of like Cowboy Bebop or something. Yeah, wow.
I will say, once again, Wonder Egg is here again.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Does it all. Does it all.
Oh shit, that's a good one. Or Wonder Egg, yo. I mean, would you put Ioto in there? No, yay. Poor Ioto.
Oh my goodness. Like hasn't won a single thing, but is nominated for everything.
They're doing stuff right, just not perfect.
I guess so.
But yeah, for me, Joe, Boji is really dope too. Like you know, just thinking about Yuji, like, he's a part of a really awesome series.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a part of a great series.
So
A
he
lot of
kind of
great characters.
he kind of just got the participation like trophy here,
Yeah.
even being a nominee.
And hey, we'll make it clear again. If you love Itadori, all good.
I'd like to know why.
Just let me know why. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll change my mind. Maybe I'm missing something.
It could be that, you know, entry anime. A lot of people, if that's their entry, like that's their goat no matter what. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to best character design. Seriously? The winner is Tadashi Hiramatsu from Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2. So essentially the character designs in general, like the character design for
Okay.
that season.
Okay.
We got Odd Taxi. I am gonna lie, I don't watch it, but like character design wise, come on, no. Stop. Ranking of Kings. Again, it's more of an animation thing than art style, I would say. Like, I'm not like, oh my god, it looks like, you know, I'm more so like, oh my god, it's so fluid and beautiful. Skate the Infinity. I didn't get into that one. Vivi and Wonder Egg.
See, it does they probably had a great year, man.
I'd give it to Vivi. The character
I was
designs
gonna
of
say
Vivi.
you were like talking of Vivi.
But look, there's one thing. I know it's been on here for other things. I don't see why not.
I'd give it to
I'll put
Vivi.
Demon Slayer at least on this list. I don't know if you agree or disagree, FORNEVER. Me and Slice have talked about this.
Come
Demon
on.
Slayer has some of the best character designs in Shonen.
Absolutely.
They're all so unique visually. They're like amazing. Like I feel like it should have been on here.
In the
See,
modern
I
age-
feel like that for Black Clover. I feel like Black Clover. I love
We talked about that too. We talked about
Yuki
that too.
Tabata's little, like, if you go back to his Hungry Joker series, I always reference that because that was my first exposure to his art style. It's
Same.
something about that crude, like when there's a demon or somebody is being really freaking messed up, like he knows how to draw some really sick shit that, like, I don't know, I love that art style for Black Clover. And it's not me being biased about this, it's just genuinely aesthetically, there's something about those character designs that I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about. Well, I feel for Black Clover too, but I feel that more strongly about Demon Slayer. Like every character is so unique, like visually.
I think with Black Clover, it's like it's able to make it gnarly, but also like not so grotesque that it leaves the mainstream sort of visuals or aesthetic.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer is probably like the best when it comes to character designs. When it comes to modern anime, modern shonen, there's nothing that I can think of that even comes close.
Yeah.
Every single
Very
character,
clean.
you can look at them and you pretty much know what you're dealing
Look how
with.
flashy Tengen is, and then you have another character like Rengoku, who's more like more like a light, like a
Yeah,
warrior.
exuberant, and you can see it.
Man.
Brilliant.
Hairstyles, man. Otoge, go.
Like there's you know, plain simple,
Yeah.
calm, water, Yome Himejima, crying, praying. You don't get this anywhere else.
Right.
These are just like it's something
I
else.
would
And
have-
transformations.
Yeah. I would have Mugen on this list at least.
Yeah, I think it's a criminal injustice not to have it here.
And they have it in a, and
Although Wonder Egg looks nice.
Wonder Egg, it deserves a nomination. I don't know if I'd give it the win, but it deserves a nomination.
For everything. Give it everything.
That's the story of Wonder Egg. Oh shit.
You should have a Wonder Egg counter on the screen.
Honestly.
Yo, whoever's editing this one for me, you heard the man. Put that shit in there.
Wonder Egg counter.
Alrighty. Best Director winner, Baku Kinoshita for Odd Taxi. Again, I hate it. I really wish I would have watched this one. I didn't realize it was going to be this much of a freaking key player on everything. And the nominees were Yuichiro Hayashi from Attack on Titan, Sung-Hoo Park for Jujutsu Kaisen. I've heard that name before. Yo Moriyama, Megalobox, Shingo Natsume from Sunny Boy, and Shin Wakabayashi from Wonder Egg Priority.
Right counter.
Bing!
Get it going. Get it going.
Best Director.
I have to strongly disagree. There's no way. Like, there's just no way that JJK is on this list for direction and did not take it. It's impossible. This doesn't make any sense.
Because it's
Like,
the direction that put really Jujutsu Kaisen on the map. If it wasn't for that director, who knows where we'd be at with it.
I don't even know how this could even come to pass, just because I can't even give it to the popularity thing. I can't say that, the series just isn't there yet. How?
Maybe they're giving it a handicap because they're not like humanoid characters and directing it to make you feel like kind of like B stars. Maybe that's where they were going with it.
Reality, you mean, maybe? Or like, emotions, like
Yeah, like it made you feel like you're actually watching humanoids when
I mean, that's
I don't know. That was a terrible reach. I just don't know why.
But if it's similar to a Gretzko, where it's like these, animal things, whatever, are showcasing very human emotions and going on that type of ride, I don't know, maybe.
But then you got to compare it to Attack on Titan.
I'm sure there's plenty of Odd Taxi fans out there that are screaming at us right now. You don't
Listen, I am going to watch Odd Taxi now because I need to know how this is possible. Because if I'm just sitting here like, oh my God, who directed this?
You're gonna look up everything he's ever done.
Look out for his tweets.
Yeah, I was wrong.
A year later after it's airing, Odd Taxi, by the way, you guys should be watching.
And Megalobox 2 also deserves a nod for Best Director because the direction of that show, to go from what that first season felt like to we're in the slums of Mexico, motherfuckers is breaking into abandoned buildings just to survive. Joe is dealing with a whole bunch of really messed up stuff. The director really had to keep his foot on the gas because it could have got lost real quick. Like, you're going to Mexico and where's these characters? What happened? But he kept it together and it little by little unfolds throughout the season. So I got to give a nod for that one. Shout outs to Yo Moriyama.
Attack on Titan, just in terms of the workload, the difficulty, put it all together in that. Yeah, and it's in such a small time frame. Let's remember that, like how long it took us to get seasons of Attack on Titan previously. They adapted the manga so fast. These are two strong contenders right here that I wouldn't even think anything could break through. But Odd Taxi must be just like the best series possible, man.
And Wonder Egg is just something else. Yeah. Let's jump on to let's get a little bit Sonic with it. Best score. The best score winner is Yuki Kajiura and Go Shina from Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Mugen Train arc. So musically, I remember there was a few cues. I mean, let alone the opening was fire. With that part, that was one of the things that I remember saying, like, hey, we got a cool opening out of this, why not? But score wise, damn, I hate to keep sounding like a fanboy of it, but easily would have been Megalobox for me. It was something real unique for an anime to go just this all Hispanic Mexican music, and like that was wild. I mean, I'm sure these other shows got some dope shit, but Megalobox, whoa, I don't know.
Like the jazz and cowboy bebop type thing. I always love when shows about and do something like that.
I don't feel well versed enough to touch upon this entirely because I'm not familiar with the music for all these shows, and I'm basing off of my knowledge of season 1 with Megalobox. But if they kept that same energy from season 1, there's like that is some of the best stuff possible. They really were in their bag when it came to the different sounds. Like it felt grungy. You felt like you were in the city. It felt like you were in the slums. It felt like you were elevated depending on the situation. And I think especially with a series that is just, one-to-one boxing, you have to have that sort of intensity to the music to convey the weight of each punch and things like that. Demon Slayer, such an emotional ride, such an emotional experience in so many ways. I think the music played a big factor, whether you recognize it or not, in how we felt about everything that happened with that arc.
Yeah, they had a lot of dramatic cues that I do remember. Like every now and then, I'd be like, "Oh shit, that was interesting." It made the scene feel a little bit more. Because again, they gotta when you're doing something like readapting for a similar medium, like you're just putting it into a TV series opposed to just an anime, you gotta try and give all the other bells and whistles a little bit of a tweak. So go in the music, do something different. Like I remember there was a Rangoku score in that first original episode that they did. That was kind of dope. So
It's a movie, so you know a movie will always go above and beyond. So
Fair enough.
okay, we got the final 6 categories. Let's do it. We got Best Girl, and the winner of Best Girl, Nobara Kugisaki, Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2. Ooh, I ain't mad at it.
no surprise there. People love her.
Are we sure?
Well, I mean, people she's so popular.
No. I'm surprised by Comey not winning.
Comey didn't win.
has a-
Toru Honda didn't take the dub, and that's Fruits Basket. It looks like the Fruits Basket fandom, either they really weren't, they're not really into like this voting stuff, or they've shrunken, because I would have expected Fruits Basket to tear it up with, like, you know, these are fans that they've been rocking with this series for like 20 freaking years. So it's kind of shocking to see that Fruits Basket, while it got nominated a bunch of times, it's not taking any W's. That's kind of interesting.
But I'd give it to Nobara myself personally.
You sure you wouldn't give it an Ioto? Because Wonder Egg is on there again.
Wonder Egg Counter.
Bing!
Oh my goodness, man! Like they did what is not in this series.
You're walking away watching Taxi. I'm gonna walk away watching Wonder Egg.
Yeah.
Truly a jack of all trades.
Master of none. But shout outs to Nobara. I don't got no argument with that. Nobara is awesome. I was screaming how much I love Nobara from, like, what was she introduced? Episode 3, I think. Let's move on. This one I'm very happy about. Best Boy. Winner, Boji from Ranking of Kings. And I want to say, even when I was talking about the nominations initially, that was my pick for Best Boy. Or I tied it. I'm not gonna lie. I tied. I said either Boji or somebody from Tokyo Revengers, because 2 contestants from Tokyo Revengers are nominated. Mikey
Not fair.
This one surprises me.
and Draken. I wouldn't. Boji or Mikey would have been my pick, but I'm very happy with Ranking of Kings taking something. What do you guys think?
You want to work through the nominations? You didn't do that for this one.
Okay. We got Senku Ishigami, Dr. Stone season 2. I guess that would probably be one of the few that you could put in, because Dr. Stone, it was dope and all that stuff, but I don't know if I'd like animation wise or fights. So at the very least, they included him in something. Then we got Izumi Miyamura from Horimiya. We got Arakawa from Taxi, Boji Ranking of Kings, Ken Draken from Tokyo Revengers, and Manjiro Mikey from Tokyo Revengers. Again, yeah, unfair. Why the hell are they having 2 from the same series in the nomination?
That's not okay.
So here's why this one surprises. Where's Gojo?
Ooh.
Did Gojo not dominate the internet for like the first?
Why isn't Gojo in any? Now that you wait, no. This was Core 2. Was he a part of? That's what they were judging off of. They wasn't judging off. Was Gojo really doing badass shit in Core 2?
Wasn't he right there with the Toto versus Yuji? He was right.
Yeah. He saw what the
Blue, red, purple. You know, where's Gojo?
holy
I'm
cow.
surprised by his entire category, to be honest. Like the fact that they felt so limited that they would put 2 for Tokyo Revenge. I love Mikey.
Yeah.
Draken's not
especially-
necessary.
Why are there 2 there and not Gojo?
I
I shouldn't have to say it. Gojo dominated the internet for like the first half of the year.
Yeah.
wouldn't even like.
It goes back to there's got to be a lot of recency bias, that they're forgetting what a lot of like the earlier in the year series did, and the characters that people loved
But,
earlier in
like,
the year.
Best Boy. I mean, do the main characters of Demon Slayer and My Hero Academia not count?
Where's One Piece? Where's a lot of, like, One Piece got completely shafted on. Like, One Piece had a godlike freaking year of
We
anime.
don't need that on here.
No One Piece.
I-
Black
I-
Clover. Come on, man. It had 3
Gojo's
months.
on
And
this list, he'd win.
where's Yami at?
There's no way.
Maybe there's just like Best Boy. You have to be under a certain age limit or
Age.
something. I don't know.
Well, that could be, yeah, because he's all younger. Okay, that would make sense. I don't know about Taxi, because that looks like it's supposed to be the representation of a grown man, right?
Right.
Probably somebody screaming, "No, you don't know nothing about On Taxi for them. Shut up."
But then where's Tanjiro?
Where's Tanjiro? I don't know if they would have put him, but where's Deku? Deku is a solid vote.
He might have even been on it before for previous years. You know, that could probably win.
Yeah.
Because that season, the whole season 5 aired through 2021, right? That wasn't a crossover, right? That was all of 2021.
2021. Yeah.
Yeah, and Deku had, like, the first half of the anime. The main thing of that season was Deku and his learning the Black Whip and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, the vast majority of the season was Deku. I think we only got like what was it, 4 or 5 episodes of the villains?
And now that I'm looking, hold on, because we only have 4 categories left. This is one of the first years since I've been following the Crunchyroll Anime Awards that My Hero Academia isn't completely slaughtering. Like every year, that was one of the complaints I always see people saying.
That's a telling sign of season 5 to me. But
What was it? At some point, there was one where they just swept.
yeah, they ate everything.
Dang.
Or was it 4? Season 4, they might have swept like everything.
That is telling though of what the damage season 5 has done. Wow.
Can they recover with season 6?
I don't think so, because they're gonna keep making these movies.
10. What was it? 10 movies, 10 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Let's scoot
This
on
is the
over.
last year of the manga, but okay.
Unless we get My Hero Academia
Mikey
new
should have
class,
for
new
me. 'Cause I
class.
haven't seen everything else. I love Mikey, but
Really, Mike? Yeah, no, yeah, Mikey. Like I said, that would have been my choice if it wasn't for Boy. I just wanted Ranking of Kings to win
to
something.
get a dub, yeah.
Yeah, like come on. Although Tokyo Revengers really ain't get one either, and I love Tokyo Revengers, man. So either one I would have been fine with. Alrighty. Best ending sequence. Winner, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Mugen Train arc. So are they just referring to like the ending song, ending theme?
Yeah.
Okay. I really wasn't familiar with ending themes like that for any of these things. I think I probably would have gone with either Titan or Demon Slayer.
I would have gone with So I'm a Spider, So What. That was a intense, powerful ending that I watched every time I finished that episode.
Is that a isekai series?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I need to get back into watching a few isekai. I let the amount of isekai popping up kind of deter me away from the whole genre. So I'm like, oh, there's too many. I need to start getting back in. All right, well, this one I'm sure we'll be a little more versed in. Best opening sequence winner. And the winner is Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1, Shinsei Kamatechan. Yeah, I did a butchering on that. See, here's something that I would have thrown Demon Slayer, the Mugen Train opening sequence in here because I really loved that opening for the readaptation. I was like, okay, we got a fire opening, but it's not. So we got Attack on Titan, we got Beastars, Jujutsu Kaisen, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, Odd Taxi. They just want us to watch Odd Taxi, and Tokyo Revengers. I'm not even gonna lie, I probably would give it to Tokyo Revengers because either Tokyo Revengers or Jujutsu Kaisen. I like that Attack on Titan. I'd probably go with Tokyo Revengers because I played that on my own time.
I feel like they put some variety picks
Yeah.
here. I really enjoyed JJK's. I enjoyed Tokyo Revengers. And I enjoyed Attack on Titans. But I do think I'm surprised that Attack on Titan won out because, you know, I remember when that intro just came out, people were talking all kinds of crazy stuff about it. They were not fans.
Yeah, I remember that too. All the Attack on Titan intros, that was probably the one that people liked the least.
You think people voted thinking that this was the newest one?
Yeah.
I promise you they're winning this next year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there's nothing could compare to that. Just for my own fun, anytime I start an episode of Part 1 of Attack on Titan, I listened to this opening, but like it was remixed with Pop Smoke. So I was just going into it.
Remix with Pop Smoke. Yo, that's fire as fuck.
I don't know who made that, but that was fire. I remember it too.
Smoke will never clear.
Yeah, that was a nice variety they had, and I give it a Tokyo Revengers on my behalf. Either that or I really liked Jujutsu Kaisen. Like almost all the music for Jujutsu Kaisen was real fire for me. So 2 left. We got Best Animation, second to last, and Best Animation. It had to win. Studio Ufotable, Demon Slayer.
Studio Ufotable.
That was unfair, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. That's animation from a $15 million budgeted film compared to.
It better win.
Yeah.
Other than that, Jujutsu Kaisen could have taken it, or VV, I'd say probably, but no, it had to be Demon Slayer. There's no.
Yeah. I mean, beyond big budget, JJK would have won, but Demon Slayer, I mean, it did everything. You could not ask for more, except with this latest season. But yeah, Studio Ufotable did everything.
What about Wonder Egg?
I'm really curious how many nominations Wonder Egg has in total. Like,
It was like in almost everything. It literally was like in almost everything we touched. Oh snap!
That's the real winner, low key.
Like, yeah, you got nominated that many times, so, you know, you just getting snubbed.
I mean, it was a wacky series, and it was like it looked beautiful and all that, but just in comparison, the competition was stiff. Like there's a lot of steep shit.
If it was a lighter year, they would have swept.
Probably.
Surprise isn't on anything so far. Didn't the Black Clover anime finish up in 2021?
It should have at least got best opening. At least should have got a nomination.
Or that Yami Asta versus who was it?
Versus Dante.
That's
Yeah.
surprising.
They should have got at least
Yeah,
one nomination.
and look,
Come on.
Black Clover has been holding it down for Crunchyroll.
It's a top anime on Crunchyroll.
Holding it down,
Wow.
carrying on its back. When nothing else is dropping, when you waiting for the hot releases, Black Clover is here week after week after week. That's disrespectful.
And they repay it with not even giving it a goddamn mention. Yo, what the hell?
Disrespect.
Well, let's go to the king of it all. The number one thing that everybody wants to know. What was chosen for anime of the year? And the winner is dun, 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 Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1 by Studio Mappa. Holy cow. Wow. Are y'all in agreement with that? Because nominations, anyway, let me read those out. 86, Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen for Core 2, Odd Taxi, Ranking of Kings, and Sunny Boy.
Where's Wonder Egg?
I'm
Yeah.
surprised. Sunny Boy over Wonder Egg? No way.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I agree. I'm not mad. I would have probably given it though Ranking of Kings. From the main ones that we're looking at, AOT, JJK, and Ranking of Kings. AOT, it had the 3D CG issues with the part 1. JJK, second core. It was dope, but it was only half a story. Ranking of Kings, you could argue those first 12 episodes felt like a whole damn story in and of itself. And it was so different, unique. The animation was fluid as hell. I don't know. I really love Ranking of Kings, but that's not to slight, because at the end of the day, Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1 was still very freaking amazing. Likewise with Jujutsu Kaisen, and I'm sure all the other participants, but I probably would have given it to Ranking of Kings.
It's hard to even quantify what goes into all this, but like just off of impact alone, AOT just sweeps anything for the year. I mean, it was crashing the website every week. To this day, it still is, you know?
Yeah.
So,
People love to discredit these series as if they're not shaking the world right now.
World.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan are shaking the whole world, not just the anime culture. Like, come
Yeah.
on, man.
people do that because they don't like agreeing with things that are popular a lot of times.
Contrarians.
Yeah, try to be different. But no, Attack on Titan definitely is way too powerful, has too much going on, and like, I mean, this has been a long ride that has been enjoyable for so long.
And the journey up to season 4, part
Mhm.
1. Like, let's not forget how crazy that jump was, you know, from season 3 to 4. Like, this is a long time coming.
That was a gamble. Yeah.
I think it makes sense.
I'm happy with it.
It's crazy that this time next year, it'd be awesome to do this. And we will be talking about like Bleach. We will be talking about like a whole new roster because a lot of these are out of here.
Man.
Chainsaw Man.
Man.
Oh, God, I'm going to be so biased. I'm going to be so goddamn
Yeah,
biased.
I'm honestly, yeah.
Power, that's good. Maximum power. The only one else.
Oh, wow. Yeah. This
So,
is going to be crazy.
If they adapt it as they should, as I expect them to, I want every category. I want a clean sweep
The
for
next year's
Chainsaw.
Wonder Egg, except
Yeah.
for taking the award.
Yeah. Wonder Egg, but actually winning.
Although I will say, despite the incredible nature of Chainsaw Man, there is Attack on Titan that is airing right now that they're gonna have to compete with.
Oh, right.
And My Hero.
Oh,
And
no.
if it doesn't flop-
My Hero. Let's talk about some real competition here.
Oh, no.
Listen,
Yeah.
you're right. Demon Slayer. I want best performance. I want what best
fight.
best fight.
Animation.
Best animation.
This is gonna be a crazy one.
Oh
next
no,
year.
that's a
Oh, my God. This is going to
Oh,
be
no.
way
I'm
more
like
tough.
getting goosebumps
yeah.
thinking
Next
about
year's
how
gonna be
crazy
a
this is.
real fight.
And here's how it balances out, right? Because just like what we're dealing with in this one, next year we're going to deal with recency bias. So even though Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer are massive right now, it'll be a little bit more leveled because by then people will be a little bit, okay, this
Yeah.
happened.
Right.
So it'll balance itself out.
That's seriously gonna be a tough year. Like I can't even best fight. I already give it to Demon Slayer right now, but then you got Bleach coming out. Then you got Chainsaw Man. Like it's gonna be heavy.
Oh my God, I
Man,
can't.
I'm like really excited.
Like now I'm like, yo, this year 2022 is actually pretty heavy for this medium we got.
This was an amazing episode we did here. Let us know what you guys think. Do you think that they nailed it? What you would have changed for the winners of the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, and just in general your 2 cents for the next years to come. I want to thank my guys here over at Plot Armor for joining me for this really, really awesome event. And hopefully we do this again next year in general and keep on creating content together, because it's always a freaking amazing time with you guys.
Absolutely, it's a
Glad to be back
blast.
here a second time on ForneverWorld and ForneverNews.
Sure. This is amazing.
Bring us back,
That's
man.
yeah,
Bring us back.
seriously. We'll have you over.
We'll have you come over.
Hells yeah, dog. I'm all for it, baby. But I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life. Bye. Have an awesome day. Peace in. And you guys just watched another episode of Forever News. Have an awesome day.
So just go to